We got ourselves a critical situation here for one of the final weeks going into Division S. This is episode 9 for these teams, and only a few are going to make it out alive into the playoffs. This is where it's do or die time, where every point matters. My name is Vicious, here with Saishunkan to bring in all the action as you normally should expect it here in the English restream. We got ourselves quite the banger to start things off. Saishunkan Kumamoto versus CAG Osaka, Nagoya NTPOJA, and Good 8 Squad in the race for the first place, the best seeding position that they could ask for. Then the marquee matchup, Victrix Gaming versus Crazy Raccoon. Cola, how are you feeling about all that, man?
Bro, I feel like it's about to be a wicked world for some of these teams out here. Let me break it down for all of you. Production has given us the information. Nagoya NTPOJA, they're already qualified. They're sitting pretty. It's a matter of where they're going to be standing at the end in terms of where they're going to be at in the playoffs. After that, Good 8 Squad needs 10 points to officially qualify. That will depend on today's match. Crazy Raccoon 40 points to qualify and make the other teams fall to the wayside if they get that 40 bomber today. Victrix Gaming needs 30 points at the very least to stay in the race. Seoul needs 20 points to stay in the race. And CAG Osaka needs 10 points to stay in the race. But that could all go to the wayside. But either way, today, if you're any of these teams, you write your own history right now. You write your own future. It's all up to you and how you proceed. It's all up to your own hands. But that, again, means we're going to get some great Street Fighter play as they vie for as many points as possible to get to that playoff line to stay fine.
Yeah, right. There's just so much on the line in regards to like these final weeks here for Division S, and it's going to be the same type of ordeal going into it for Division F the following week, right? We have to make sure that every single one of these matches are in order, right? Everything is going to be more so on the pressure of the away team to make sure that they are prepared for whatever counterpick comes their way, and it's just so much to really consider, especially in that second match between Nagoya NTPOJA and Good 8 Squad for that #1 ranked seeding going into the playoffs. First and foremost, obviously, Aru and Hamiko, always great to see them throw it down, and hopefully they've been enjoying themselves in Street Fighter League US action as we've been sacrificing our sleep to make sure to bring all the entertainment and action that you could ask for, and we love doing it. We genuinely love doing it. But looking into it right now, Saishunkan Kumamoto in the hot seat against CAG Osaka, right? Seoul only needs 20 points to stay in the race. CAG just 10, right? Not too far away from each other, also in the rankings, if I'm not mistaken. They are both at the bottom of the barrel at the moment with 130 points apiece, but still things can change, right? There is a possibility where we could see Crazy Raccoon not score anything at all, depending on which side of Victrix Gaming decides to show up for the marquee matchup. So it all really depends on how things go for the home teams.
In terms of what happened previously, you know, if I look at a little bit of the history, been a lot of 30-point situations that we've seen. CAG Osaka last time 30-20, but you know what, I'm gonna get to that in a second. I want to go down the awards list. The one thing that we all love to see: Grand Finals MVP, that's one player from Grand Finals team. Division MVP, one player from each division. Rookie of the Year award, Drive H Efficiency award, and my favorite, your favorite, everybody's favorite, the Uncheck award, the Drive Impact award. Those will be 50,000 yen each awarded to those players. So there's a lot on the line in terms of staying fine out here, not only just in terms of qualification, but also what you're doing out here in League. But also who's doing good stuff out here in League is Vismo. They've been doing a lot in terms of interviewing League winners continuously. If you want to find out more information about these players and why they're doing what they're doing, well, go check out their stream if you're a native speaker or if you have the subtitles turned on or the AI subtitles turned on. Either way, give them some love. Go watch that stuff. Just go ask a player what they do on their stream, what's going on. They're not going to tell you, but they'll tell them. So go check that out.
Yeah, man, it's been a really, really wonderful thing. Also, they've had like their replays with like English generated subtitles, so you can kind of get the gist of it. It may not be like 100% accurate, but it's definitely worth noting that they do bring like a different perspective. It's like it's pretty entertaining because they bring their personas into it while at the same time trying to bring in like even more of like the players' characteristics in terms of like how they are as people, how they are as players, and how they see if they can maintain their professionalism when these questions come in post-interview or post-matches, I should say. But everything else in the world of Street Fighter League Japan, everything else in the world of Street Fighter 6 Japan specifically, Capcom_esports is where you need to go for the latest and greatest information regarding all the upcoming events, especially these upcoming World Warriors, obviously the rest of Street Fighter League going into the playoffs and the grand finals, and then of course our beloved the Capcom Cup 12, the big dance. All the information for Japan specifically can be found there.
There's a lot going on, as you mentioned. There's so many tournaments that are even outside of like the league, outside the CPTs and things like that. A lot of things that are going on. So check that out so you have all the know of what's going on in that Street Fighter world. But what's going on right now is Street Fighter League 2025 as we get down to the nitty-gritty towards the playoffs next month, and we're about to establish some of those people in the playoffs besides Nagoya NTPOJA. Saishunkan Kumamoto going up against CAG Osaka as our first match to start things off. It's about to be super sick out here. Y'all do not want to miss a single iota, a single drive rush. Let's actually start it off with the away side of things. It's going to be Saishunkan Kumamoto bringing it in. See if the sun can shine on the unstoppable one. Tobion, super strong with that gi. Neutral and also have those resets if need be. My man is command grab happy. But after that, it's going to be the Iceman, Hold with it. Kosa on the Ryu has been doing a lot of work. Where others have faltered, he has not failed for his team. After that's going to be the Mr. Optimal. Shouts out the Yipes and shouts out the Machibo. Switch it up with the Akuma or the Ryu with need be going back and forth and finding himself and some success out here in League. And last but definitely not least, the Violence Emperor, the Brutal Emperor, whatever you want to call him. Don't pick up the phone, because that man's about to do the damage. It is Nemo on the Bison JP, whatever he wants to use, even block if need be. This team is super stacked. It only held back by the I think, honestly, by the fact that they have maybe too many Ryus out here. We'll see if that becomes a hindrance today, but they need as many points as possible to be moving on. But they have to go up against CAG Osaka and see how that works out.
Really curious to see if they can pull it out, man. There's a lot of faith in that squad. I think they're a well-rounded team. I would love to see Macho also come out of this current rep that he's in regards to like his score, but also like his mentality. I think he's a very, very solid player in general. But again, this is the team where you cannot slouch. You cannot afford to give any points to, because if you give them an inch, they will take that mile. It is CAG Osaka coming in with the home field advantage. Let's get our introductions in and get better acquainted with the names and the faces. Going into player number 1, the boy becomes a man. This isn't Boys to Man. This is Takagi going in with that Blanca. Really excited to see where he's going to be placed off and what counter picks. Then, of course, the eternal ace. It is Audio with the ever-impressive Jamie, and sometimes maybe even the Sea Viper. Who knows who will throw out this week? And of course, one of our favorites personally, the Unlimited Dragon Dance coming in from Eita, bringing in that fire. No longer with Ken, but with Akuma. That demon's been doing work. And also putting in hella work. It's the Reticent Perfectionist. I still need a dictionary for that one. It's Fenrich coming in as the team leader. Listen, I think there's been so much potential and so much growth going in every single week. Although the rankings put them at 5th place, I still think their overall synergy and their overall presence have been a very, very positive one and should net them a higher positioning. I think that's, I kind of feel that way with both teams. Like looking at their composition in terms of like the player skill level, in terms of like their character selection, very much so involved with the meta, right? They want to make sure that whatever they decide to go for not only benefits them in the CPT, but also benefits them in Street Fighter League in regards to player selection. Let's get into our away side. Ooh, Machibo with Ryu, Nemo with Bison, Kosa with Ryu. It's the Shoto sandwich. Kobayan taking the bench this week. Interesting.
Trying to avoid Fenrich JP possibly, I'm not sure, but either way, like I feel like Kobayan, even if he does face some difficult matchups, we've seen him time and time again work through them. He's also really good at like the My matchup too as well, if that were to come up, if Fenrich were to go for that. But it's weird to see him sit on the bench, despite how well he did last time. Either way, I don't mind having a Ryu sandwich if Machibo is up to the task. You mentioned that Machibo has kind of been faltering here and there, and I think, you know, seeing him back on the Ryu is a better option. You know, you played that character a lot more, and Eita, though, coming up against Machibo, take a little bit of a shot of air. I hope that's air. He's just getting himself ready, you know. Get yourself in form. Either way, on the Akuma, though, we'll be seeing Machibo fight his new flame. What do you think about this, though?
I think this is a matchup that we've really kind of hammered in on before, right? We've seen the last time they played over in week 4, Eita faced off against Kosa's Ryu, actually got the better of that exchange. And it wasn't even like a blowout, right? I feel like it was still rather close in regards to like how they performed. If I were to look at it specifically, I think this is a matchup that we've talked about a bunch, even in Division F, right? Eita actually brought it back from the initial deficit against Kosa. But it really is a different type of damage dealt from both ends. I think both can dump out the damage. I think Ryu just has like a little bit more control mid-screen, being able to really break the mold with the donkey kick and also kind of fake out fireballs with the Hashogeki a multitude of times. But also, I think the burnout effects in regards to the matchup, I think Ryu has a little bit more of a presence while in burnout, personally, right? Hashogeki up close in your face, it's so ambiguous as to what he's going to pursue afterwards. Next thing you know it, you're dead. On the other side, Akuma, a lot of potential range that could lead to fat damage, right? Some of these stray hits have cashed out for more damage than we could ever imagine for how many different routes that he has, how much meter he has based upon as well. So it really is like one thing out the way, damage on board for both, but different types of control for both Shotos.
A little more risk that Ryu can take, obviously with the health. I know that people kind of meme on the 9K and stuff, but that is a thing that Ryu can rely upon a little bit more than Akuma. You can't take too many hits with the glass cannon. So in some regards, you know, when you talk to like a Ryu player, they're like, I don't mind this matchup too much because if I hit him, you know, I can hurt him a little bit more in these exchanges and take you know, trades here or there, or take the advantage, or take like a little bit more risk than him linking with an ODDP. However, Eita, I got to give it credit where it's due. That man's defense has gotten way better than what we've seen previously in Street Fighter 5, and even in 4. He's really focused and hammered in on when he needs to pull back and when he needs to space himself out in ranges where it's not effective to play a button. So like you mentioned the ranges that Ryu wants to play, like maybe he wants to go for like forward fierce or like donkey kick. At least Akuma can pepper with fireballs. He can find a forward fierce or stand fierce, and I think Eita's well adjusted to that. And I think we saw a little bit of that when he was fighting Kosa. We'll see how the adjustments are here. I think we'll be seeing a little bit more of the donkey kicks to get in at certain ranges, maybe try for a stand medium, whatever it may be, because all it takes is one interaction for you to equalize that damage potential. Eita says, or excuse me, Macho says in his interview, a little unexpected, but all I need is for the team is a win, and I'll do my best. But again, Macho has been a little bit shaky back and forth. We saw him go to the Akuma recently. But again, I like him doing it with the character that he is more informed with, that he's been playing League with a lot more. So I'm hoping to see that confidence that you were talking about that he's lacking here right now.
That dude like emptied out the whole canister while you were talking. I couldn't help but like notice this guy is different, and I don't like how he used the oxygen mask, or I forget what that's called specifically, what the canister is, but it's definitely like a oxygen, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, I don't like how close he was to the microphone while doing that. It was kind of unnecessary. I have seen those, by the way, over in Japan. I forget what like the brand is, but it's definitely like oxygen, which is kind of interesting to see. It's like maybe if you're stuffed in your house and you don't have enough oxygen intake, I guess, it like clears you up. I don't know, man. It's real funky.
Whatever it is, using it right now. He said, I'm not incubating anything. I'm not doing it. Let's talk about Macho. Usually I don't like the match with Macho today. We both have the same pressure. Let's give it our best. That's something that Eita said. So he's like, don't worry about what I'm doing. Worry about what y'all are doing over there. But again, Eita, you know, even though he's a jokester, when it comes time for battle, it's focus. It's all about the pressure on both sides. So as he mentioned, as both are trying to vie for as many points as possible for their team to get to the playoffs, both don't want to falter, especially starting things off this first of two. First match of the day, let's get it.
Damn, the horns blaring. We got Ryu's theme. Hell yeah. It's a good day. We get the perfect parry attempt at the forward fierce. Eita a little bit overzealous in his call out for the read in the beginning, but if we get the punish counter now, Eita could be on a roll after this forward throw set up with a fireball and then follow behind it. Machibo does perfect parries, so Eita a little weary about the approach now.
Be careful. It takes like one perfect parry, the driver's jab or stand medium. Eita getting in though. Gets it with the DP. Perfect parry fireball. Oh, but as I say that, the spacing is perfect from Eita to punish. DP not gonna be able to finish in burnout. Calls out the driver versus puts him in the corner. Cross that DP. He'll take that damage though, but back in the corner you go. Fireball for a fireball. From the air to air, but the fireball's right there to catch the sweep. Eita perfectly done with the spacing and everything.
And I couldn't tell you what that sweep was, as Eita was so far away. Maybe you thought Eita was gonna move on in with like maybe like a normal perhaps, but I couldn't tell you what it was. Either way you spin it, Macho Ball does get clipped. Counter hit stands short.
Great option. Shoot on both sides. Perfect parry is the name of the game right now, especially this close range. With you spaced it out enough, you saw the punches come through. He's gonna punch that crouching medium punch, take him towards the corner with the Tatsu. OD, harass the drive gauge, back at him. Now again, he's got that level 3.
Interestingly enough, Machibo tried to interrupt during the adamant flame. Again, by the way, I think there's an attempt to possibly parry. I couldn't tell you if it was actually a normal, and maybe he's not using a macro. I couldn't tell you, but there are so many raw adamant flames that just clip Macho. Not going to go for the level 3, a little bit too early, but that overhead is definitely going to warrant this usage of any super, and level 2 is the choice. Hella damage with Eita.
Like that. Well calculated. Keep some bar in your pocket. Keep it a savings for a rainy day. Here's a low. Oh, might be pouring. Toss it towards the corner. Wake up back throw. Multiple switches positions. With a crouching medium punch, but no conversion there. He had the confirm. That could have been something so significant to leave.
A little bit. Eita does get a punish counter down below. We got the adamant. We got the level 3. The damage dealt pretty much secure a significant life lead, but more importantly, the drive game. You can't stop it, or so you can, actually. I thought he was going to go into like the drive impact perhaps. No shot, brother. Up and over, nice and easy. Eita securing the first game. Machibo, a desperate attempt at a level 2.
It's gotta make sense. Maybe you're expecting like a fireball or a button at that range, because Eita's not doing that, but nah. Eita just too many steps ahead. Flights ahead right now. Game point for him so far. Like that block below as he tries to retreat, stand like he get the fireball. Eita gaining his ground with those fireballs, so the perfect berries to stand on 10 toes. There's a low. Tatsu towards the corner again. What's the weight decision? This time a throw works out. No back throw for Machibo.
Excuse me, light DP, but Oki, Eita, a little weary, actually, not taking any sort of precautions with that strike. He was actually using movement and also backing away. Machibo doesn't get the meaty overhead, Jesus.
Damage. Oh, you were in kissing distance of these throws. 3 times? 4 times? It's the first date. Machibo stays in to get the win. That throw pressure is ridiculous from Ryu up in the corner, but it makes sense. You don't want to get opened up on the other buttons. You'll die either which way.
Machibo spending a lot of time in this corner. A very, very delayed tech from the side of Machibo. Eita was way out there, by the way. The defensive end from Machibo not shining too much, but the offense, hopefully, if he compensates for some of the mistakes he's made on defense thus far. He tried to walk up. Eita prepared to counter with the crouching medium punch, and also prepared to throw it all. We got the level 3 to secure the round, and now look at that match point.
As Akuma, you know, for other characters it might suck, but not for Akuma. I mean, the damage have the potential for the corner, and he has to get there. But when he does, he needs that bar at the bottom. Wait for Eita. Can Machibo stay in? Trying to have something after that crouching medium punch. Rowan kick blocked out. Here's Eita. Another throw this time to tech though. Too far for that drive rush stand fierce. I mean, that's one of the problems of Ryu. Not the furthest drive rush distance compared to the other characters. Walk up though, using that walk speed to get right in there. Perfect very OD fireball, take the turn back and more.
Oh, bad. He's gonna get the whip punish upon that throw. Eita. Not even within range. Maybe he used it as like a reaction against Machibo, perhaps, but not the reaction he was looking for, right? Hella damage, dumping out the level 3, preserving the rest of his drive gauge. Didn't want to go for a full-on double driver sequence that would have put him burnt out, and Alpha, I'm pretty sure, would not have killed Eita. So I like that choice either way. We get the corner positioning, letting the fireballs do a lot of the talking. Eita trying to stave off that potential fierce low medium kick range. Either way.
Fireballs are yapping right now. Only prepared to keep the drive gauge up as much as possible. Now in burnout. Walk up back though. Inching forward, even though it could be a death. No, he had the same leg kick, but maybe a fireball would have been better than DP. Not gonna hit. Eita able to secure it off that mistake.
Damn, son, the comms were hot. Oh no, come on, man. You can't pop up like that. Come on, brother. And he's going in! He's getting the celebration puffs, man. I don't know if I condone that. I don't know if I can comment on it, but he's feeling rather giddy. I'll have what he's having. On the double, on the pronto.
This cat was clean. So know the ranges where if they're gonna perfect parry a fireball, you can challenge their button. Knowing that Ryu doesn't have the furthest range for drive rush right after, understanding what Macho was gonna do on defense continuously, and honestly playing that fireball were so close and comfortable keeping his bar up was like picture perfect. This is what we're talking about in terms of Aetha being a little more defensive and not too much wild, not mild, and that's an unfortunate mistake right there. That maybe could have landed Macho with something significant, but that is significant for CAG Osaka. 10 points, we talked about it. They need to stay in, but to get further and further in the playoffs and secure even a further spot, 40 Bomber would be great. Nemo, up next, who do you send up against the Bison Brutal Emperor?
Ooh, for CAG Osaka. I like Fenrich if he goes for possibly JP, but it has to. I think either JP or the Blanca.
Yeah, maybe JP if he can stop the. Okay, so we'll be Fenrich. It'll be Blanca. I think JP can be kind of risky because like there's so many things that Bison can present in that matchup. But level 2 is like a great equalizer, and it stops people that want to play that one-player game if they don't have good defense. But I guess Blanca might be better in some ways in terms of actually that level 2. The way that Fenris wants to play is he'll spend a lot of bar, get the level 2, and get the bar back, and then harass it continuously up in the corner. And you've lost most of your health, and you only have like 1/4 of your name. And then Bison having great defense kind of suffers from there. So we'll see what happens in terms of the route back if you're Nemo. Like his defense, which has been one of his weaker things, that's something he's said years upon years. Something if he can work around, how to work around this. Let me see the previous time if they played. And they did.
I don't believe they.
Oh, they did. Excuse me.
Perhaps?
They did play.
Okay.
It was the extra game. My mistake. My mistake. It was the extra game. Nemo took the first. But then after that, it was all Fenrich on the block. So same characters, same sort of scenario. I think that was also when we started seeing Fenrich get used to how to play the level 2 scenario that we used to see him with, right? And get more comfortable playing this character this season.
Yeah, so I mean, like, if it ain't really a difference for the way Fenrich wants to approach the matchup, then so be it, right? I think that just makes a lot of sense. And what you had kind of like remarked on earlier, like Bison not having like the best defense outside of like having a level 1 or any super for that matter. Dude, Blanca's presence being or having the potential to steal throws or steal turns, excuse me, is so dangerous off of that back medium kick, right? Like that alone is such a factor. I do like Blanca being able to also stop any of like the air approaches pretty consistently with. What is he doing? Is he imitating Fenrich?
With the glasses?
I lost my train of thought. Because my man was like, I think he was imitating him, perhaps. I couldn't tell.
What is with these teams today? With all the pressure, they're still acting like this. Oh my god. Aerial approach, being stopped and stuff. That Blanca can do with like back medium kick in, his anti-airs and things like that, heavy kick. Devil's reverse, you're saying, in that area?
I don't know, man. I was caught up in the interview. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyways, I think Blanca has a good amount of counters towards like the approach from Bison, right? I think he's got some pretty decent reach. Also to contest him in neutral. Anything that Bison can throw Blanca's way, I feel like can be stuffed out. Like the threat of OD Blanca ball also, OD up ball specifically, is a little bit problematic as well. So we'll see. Not too sure how Nemo has to approach it.
That defense again is going to be tested in terms of like was going to be spinning drive reversal, was going to go for that super as you mentioned, and also like how is he going to deal with level 2? Is he going to be understanding how Fenrich is going to operate with that in terms of activation? Can he start getting his pressure on when Fenrich gets close to burnout, and then if you can, as much as you can at least, stop the activation points from happening? Be outside the distance. Can he get his pressure going with his bomb and stop Blanca from interacting? And then also, how are things like driver scissor kick going to work out against like crouching medium punch? There are some good buttons that Bison can present in this matchup. Stand medium, crouching medium punch are all great things, and driver scissor kick is also good too as well. It's also hard for Blanca to punish scissor kick continuously. Is an option, but overall the neutral not too bad for Blanca in a lot of elements, and as you mentioned, can stop the aerial approach. So you can't take to the skies too much until you establish that. Nemo says, I'd like to get revenge because I lost last time. Fenrich said, I know there were 2 Fenriches here in the league, but I wanted him to use Blanca if it was Finrich. So you're not going to get the mirror match, brother. You have to fight the Bison.
Nemo's a real bully sometimes. Funny enough, he's a really cool cat. I actually had the opportunity to talk to him a little bit, right? I think his English was like sharp enough, like he understands and also can reiterate back in English. So that's a little secret between me, Cola, and you, chat. Oh my God, big punish incoming. I couldn't tell you what that was to start things off.
Rock Crushers continues with these overheads. Overhead orator right now. Finds a back medium kick for the confirm. Should be able to kill this. Nice and easy. No bar at the bottom necessary. And Finrich caught him ducking. Hit him with a Dougie. Turn back.
Damn, son. Try to throw. There was OD airball. Excuse me. Here comes that lightning beast, right? You talked about it. What's going to be the options for Nemo? He does have level 1. He tried to use movement, right? Hence why he got hit with that meaty. Pick up doll number 2. Using the drive reversal this time.
Out of the corner. Grabs the drive rush. Not going up his own overhead, but Finrich wise to the game. Maybe an anti-air a little too short to do that. Light cycle pressure get the Oki. Calls out the OD ball from the air. Oh, that stuff, the OD cycle pressure. Are you kidding me? Up ball, no bar, behind it, still finds a jump in. My man had no sauce, but was all season up. Finrich still get the anti-air off. And still get the jump in right there. First game to him.
Rather impressive, man. Finrich still showing no signs of stopping or doing that Blanca. I'm so glad that he's able to sharpen it up at this point of the game, right? Week 9, just ever so important for this team. Again, we talked about stealing back-to-back turns. Back medium kick has been the choice against Nemo, and it has been for a lot of other players too. Mena RD included, as we saw earlier in Super League US. But as it stands right now, we do have the mind stealing turns away. Honestly, I want to say like forcing the turn, making the bomb detonate. Excuse me.
I mean, the burnout was so smart right there. You saw him stagger step just a little bit to make sure that all the rest of it's connected. Got what he needed. Level 1 expended, but that's a win here for Nemo. So in the corner, pushing right back there. Yeah, take residency. Impact immediately. Saw the bar was about to come back. Got the bomb on. Okay, the drive reversal though stops the overhead. Enough of that. Snap just level 1 to get the job done. Nightmare, and it's over.
Damn, son. A huge rebuttal coming in from Nemo as well. We got 1 bar from the side of Nemo. He does have an option for defense. Finrich has to keep that in the back of his mind. But right now, the counter poke coming in from crouching medium punch, being able to convert, getting that slide in with the corner positioning. Can you maintain it? Nope, not for long. We do get that big punish kind of ringing out from Nemo with that far ending fierce. We get the bomb also. Finrich forced to play defense temporarily and now getting opened up down below. Forward throw. That's the pressure situation for Nemo.
There's over slide kick this time, but too far with the grip though. That's so unfortunate. Level 2 just yet, to put the bomb on. Perfectly fine. He's hit. The dash up, light kick, OD immediately activating. This is so smart. Get your bar back. Look up the stand light kick, but still in between the string. And that crushing light punch from Finrich. Eat him up. Throw. Look up, so did he get it? Keep hitting it out. Eat him up again. Finrich set point. Seconds.
And it's so expensive, dude. Way too expensive for the side of Nemo. Coming in pretty much bare bones, right? Which is get the punish counter though. A great start. Heavy bomb implanted. Overhead does get blocked successfully. Finrich, plenty of startup to react to it. Back-to-back medium kicks. Does get the perfect parry on the second one. Nemo. Not too much to worry about also, because that was a drive rush back medium kick, so timing didn't really have to worry about it too much. L attack on the way out. He actually dropped the conversion into the cycle swipe. Finrich trying to do the most. Back medium kick.
Level 2 the back step a little bit, avoids the air block the ball. Bomb is on, we bait it out. Even better, we held parry, moved the OD cycle crusher, and we sealed the deal. And now we're seeing some of that defense. Some of it's more active, obviously with perfect parry. And also the offense that leads into burnout to disallow Finrich to have that drive rush conversion into level 2. And I do like the structuring here from Nemo. I mean, his offense is something else when it comes to his character. We saw the drive rush light into the break, hit the stand fierce, the catch up button. Game to game right now comes out of this.
A little awkward on the exchange. Fenris didn't even come down with a button. Midair again.
So many flip outs. Circus. Like that Psycho Crusher under. Take him towards the corner. Bomb not always necessary. Back throw. Walk underneath. Doesn't matter. All that movement. Get bodied.
So much movement coming in from Fenris. I'm glad you highlighted that too. Fenris has been kind of wild. Really adamant about taking to the skies a couple of times over just to avoid the threat of being pushed into the corner, right?
Understanding. Also, Nemo's movement as well. Maneuvering around that. Wake up super going to be blocked out. Once again, Perry, you're up in the green, so more incoming. Conversion. We'll get level 2. Just yet. Let's get the knockdown. After one more interaction, there it is. Level 2 on the way. Rock Crusher. OD. It still gets a fault right after level 2, not even necessary. I'll do it myself. Just the 2 of us. Ben Rich taking it 2-1 over Nemo. Should have focused up, bro. Should have made fun of him.
Yeah. Ain't that some classic karma? My man came in with like the imitation Fenrich, only to get blown up. That feels bad, man. That feels kind of rough. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's just something about Nemo, man. I feel like his focus hasn't been all the way there. I know he's been balancing a couple of things in his professional career. I know he's playing other games as well, but like if you're looking at the way he's been flowing, there hasn't really been a lot of movement or choices offensively that scream out, I've been following up with the meta, or I've been keeping up with the meta, right? Like even some of his sequences don't feel as high pressure in comparison to the other Bisons we've seen, and it feels like he's slowly kind of on a decline in regards to like trying to lead his team to victory.
Especially like outside like the burnout opportunities, like those are great, but like getting beyond that, like the neutral doesn't like feel like it's fully there. Look at that defense that we highlighted. He has highlighted so many times. Is it fully there? You have to have it against Blanca. There's a possibility for a 40 bar people. Kosa gotta stop and stem the bleeding because they are gushing blood right now. Who would you send up? Oh, personally, I would like to see Urio go up. But I wouldn't mind Takagi coming up also.
I like the Urio pick, actually. Urio Jamie? Oh man, Takagi coming in with the Blanca. I love that too. I've highlighted how much I've been following this cat, being one of the rookies, being probably the rookie to behold outside of Sahara. I'm actually quite excited to see the pressure fall onto this young man in his debut of Street Fighter League. 30 points to his name. He had the W against one of the Ryu players. I don't think it was Machabo, but I want to double check just in case I misspeak. It was against Machabo. Damn, that's rough, dude. 2-0. And funny enough, Hamiko literally just said it as I was asking that question. But I'm a little concerned. I'm just a little concerned, right? I think Kosa is much stronger in regards to navigating this character. I think he's got a lot more experience under his belt in comparison to Machabo in regards to like international travel and figuring out what the Blanca matchup was like in so many different perspectives and styles. I like Kosa in the anger, but yeah, it's kind of tough for me to feel the same way as Takagi, or Takagi. Why did I say Takagi? Hello, Takagi steps up.
I feel like Takagi is so close to reaching that element that he needs to in terms of like beating these like higher level players that have been traveling so much. We've seen him get so close to doing so, and in some instances he has won some matches against some older players, or at least gotten close to it. He kind of got bodied by Sako, I will say that, and also the one with Bonchan. But again, that's because they prepared against him. He did take down Kawano Sea Viper. Whether it be a Sea Viper or another character or not, he still won that match. I feel like he's not that far off. As you mentioned, Kosa has played so many different players from around the world, so many different Blanca players. I'm sure when he was over at CEO, when we saw him, he played Problem X. I'm sure he played Minna RD. Wait, Minna RD wasn't there. But he probably played whatever Blanca player was out there. You know, he's had that experience from traveling and then also just being a long-time player. And if you get hit by Kosa, it's going to hurt. That man has been a continuous person in terms of tech. We've seen him with Ken, and we're going to see it with Ryu. The more he plays that character, the more he understands how to punish everything that comes up. But Kosa in his interview says, I don't have much confidence, but I never had that much confidence in competitions. That's crazy because I feel like he's been doing so well in League compared to like last year.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like I had to write that down to the producer. I'm like, dude, Why is that the saddest thing I've ever heard? Like, why is that coming in now? Out of all the interviews Kosa has had, why is it like now he's like, dude, I'm depressed, or like I am not confident in this? It's very strange, very uncommon for someone like Kosa to come in with that type of energy. I'd imagine it's something to do with maybe the current outlook in regards to their points this season. I mean, they're not out of it, right? They are tied with CAG Osaka. There is a potential to get like a tiebreaker scenario if Kosa could bring it back from the dead.
Man, I understand the pressure is there, but we've seen him shine out here. We've seen him shine in the CPT offlines, and I think he hasn't done that bad in the onlines, despite the fact that he's in like the hardest world warrior. Like, bro, you need a hug. Nagaki says, he said, excuse me, Kosa said, he's getting really strong in the league, but I have to win, so I will win. Nagaki says, I can finally do something for CAG and my teammates, so I'll do my best to win here. They both understand the gravity of the situation. However, Kosa, come on, man. Let's straighten it up.
Yeah, definitely not the same demeanor that we're so used to seeing. It makes you feel low-key bad, man. I am excited for the matchup, but holy, yo, Kosa, you good, bro?
You talk?
Not punished. That was a very close low medium kick and not punished at all. Big surprise.
Medium kick this time. Takes a turn with the crouching light punch. The fireball would have been way too close. Punishable. Was playing this nice and slow with the fireball. Stay mid-range. Finds a DP deep with it as well.
Damn, a lot of the fireballs in the kick too. Damn, that actually caught that edge of the hurt box coming in from Kosa. I think it's because he crouched down. But either way, that was kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie to you. Takagi going for the slide and it barely reached at the very end. I was quite concerned.
Kosa would definitely get that save here right after. So Kosa, first round, when he starts himself, level 2. Gotta think about the character. Taking towards the corner, go through the blender, the block the channel land, punish counter. I'm gonna try to tap parry. OD, careful now, we jump out, but that's what we want. All according to plan. Damage about to land, and gets a follow-up right after. No follow-up in terms of pressure when he had the knockdown, but that's fine. He has a lead. Doesn't have to overextend to get the win. He knows it.
That was kind of sick. That little fella followed all the way through. Like the batteries were still intact, about to blow. That was actually real far. Quite impressive.
Yeah.
Takagi coming back with a perfect season. Damn! Sitting back down. OD airball. That was actually
tech right there. Yeah. He's the entire choice. The back throw. Tech's walking there with the proper distance. The range that Takagi's playing at is so perfect right now. Oh, no commitment after that punish kill. He had the cross up. That could have been so much damage dumped out. Dump truck damage. There it is off the stand fierce, but don't follow up again. Let the nerves get to you.
A single hit though for the side of Kosa. He's locked and loaded with that level 3, right? Takagi has to tread softly. He cannot afford to get punish counter at any moment. He cannot throw out a normal within a range that Kosa's playing at because it will get whip punished. Again, no challenge against the low medium kicks. Kosa's been getting away with murder thus far.
Counter conversion. Oh yeah, this should be it. Dumpy truck damage. Bam. Shin sure you can able to land, and Kosa doing a really good job of, even though there's some mistakes here on block a friend, still doing a great job of controlling this wild nut wild cat. You know what I'm saying? The fireball's nice and close and personal. The range that he's playing at, he's going for the drive rush. Still, it's only the first game in this first of 3 set. A lot more to play.
CAG needs to lock in with that communication. They need to tell Takagi every time, is if low medium kick is out there and he decides not to cancel it, crouch jab him. Crouch jab him ASAP. Yeah. Or stand jab for that matter. Either one. Although I prefer crouch jab. You get 9 frames after that, so a much stronger punish that could come in for the center block.
Space with the fireball right after. I like the knee bomb because I think he's doing that preemptively to catch the crouching medium kick. We have seen it punished though. Whip punished. Activation knocked away with the medium in play. Oh, welcome heavy. Blocks though. Kosa. Solid defense right now.
Meaty overhead does get blocked, but it's counter coming in. Takagi just leaving it to the wind. It's way too many normals. Just within the range of the punish counter. Kosa not gonna let it go unchecked.
Interrupted. Driver slide kick a little bit too fast on the draw. Beat him up. Punish counter damage. Back in kick for the meaty. OD. Oh, nice DI on the way down. Also, as it, that's not even a hesitation. It's actually a side switch situation. He waited a little bit, get the side switch. Big amount of damage against the drive gauge is what the objective is here. Fireball to burn him out. Mm-hmm.
So get some E-bombs. Trying to continue on that offense. Kosa not able to convert off of those two lights. Turning a little softly is Kosa as well. Drive impact, maybe stealing out a straight hit against Takagi closer to the corner. Not able to get the full extent of Blanca in burnout. He had 0 bars to him as well. Not really gunning for an aggressive style. Instead, playing a lot of the counter pokes, and in fact, does nail it yet again. Kosa, although not really overextending or not trying to be like aggro, I do like his pacing, at least nailing some of these hits where he can. In a very interesting kind of turn of events in regards to how Kosa's been playing. Don't know how to make it. Don't know what to make of it, genuinely.
It's definitely different. Yeah, you're right. In terms of like he used to be so active, like driver jab, driver stampede, and things like that. Way more fireballs. So the pressure is definitely waiting for them to act and responding. Obviously, crouching meaty kick could be with push a little bit more. And there are moments where Takagi is getting like the knee bombs and getting some follow-ups on counter hit, but not enough. The defense has been fantastic. He's kept his drive gauge up very, very well. And honestly, people might think that this game is always like super fast-paced and things like that. But you look at this kind of match, it's very slow. Very, I'm waiting for you to come to me. I'm interrupting after that. I'm not going to press the issue too much with drive rush. There are moments in our matchups and our matches like this where that can happen. So we are taking a little bit of a timeout. I'm assuming Takagi is getting coached by his team to be like, hey man, as you mentioned, you gotta punch that crouching medium kick, but also getting more things than knee bomb. I feel like there's a lot of emphasis on bigger buttons. Walk in, maybe play some smaller ones, maybe the medium punch to poke, hide the intention so you are able to land more of these bigger buttons more often.
Yeah, it's been rather difficult for Takagi to find the opening outside of like activations into Lightning Beast. But even so, I think Kosa's found like multiple escape options, didn't really suffer too much out of the ordinary, like off of a straight hit, or even doesn't suffer from like the mix-up potential that Takagi presents afterwards. Like sure, he'll land like a hit going to Lightning Beast, but it hasn't been too severe in comparison to what we're used to seeing in general with Blancas that do find this activation. So with all that said and done, I think possibly closing out. There's a smile that we were looking for. With all that said and done, I'm hoping like Takagi could find a way to close the gap a little bit more and not really fear the counter poke game, not really fear the fireball game as often, and maybe try to find a jump in perhaps at a sharper angle, of course. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes going into it. I wonder what the timeout's going to be like, or at least what they're going to be talking about to Takagi to get himself ready for potentially the last match. Again, it's do or die for him. And if they want to score this 40 bomber, he has to come out with a miracle.
Again, like the pressure is so much in Street Fighter League. We've seen the US players mention it so many times. We saw it through Kevin mentioning on Twitter how much weight is on your shoulders for your team. At the beginning, in the middle, at the end, doesn't matter where it's at. There's so much riding right now for these teams here in Japan. As you mentioned, a 40 bomb would be fantastic for CIG Osaka to really establish themselves out here and also put soul. It's not just about establishing your team further or at the playoffs, especially in the playoffs, but also denying other people their position in the playoffs. Kosa looking to stay alive for his team. Like these interruptions against the fireball. I want to see more of that. You're going to throw out a fireball, drive rush light kick, walk crushing medium punch. If it trades, it trades. But more importantly, conversions are going to be better for you. You are able to find that hit.
I like this. A much more aggressive start for Takagi. Does get little fella number 2. No activation though. He actually stutter stepped and actually got himself counter hit, or at least a throw back into the corner. Little fella in hot pursuit. Watch out now, Kosa! You knew he was coming your way, and you decided to dragon punch anyway.
Dancing with a Toy Story. They're alive. Like medium kick continuously harassing. Finds an opening off the low. There we go. I like the switch up for the normals. Now the Lightning Beast without losing too much health. Into his drop gauge, to be honest. How do we survive for Kosa? Blocking it all out so far. Stampedeers. OD this time on the tap parry tip. Finally gonna eat that up. Almost a burnout. Actually, he's there. Puts too many gaps and pressure. See a Tatsu right out.
I'll just counter 9 up range. Follow up with that lightning beast. No longer in burnout. Kosa actually got smoked by the roundhouse. I told you again, Takagi can't be afraid of the counter poke range. He has to keep it a little bit tighter. And you saw him blow up the timing of Kosa's normal. Can he secure the first game?
Kosa, of course, with active. Bad block the ball, drive rush conversion right after the dash up throw. OD on the wake up. I like that bust out. Giving the round right there. But I like that aggression, that wild not mild style. Back at business. Way more activity with the buttons. Better round starts. And not losing it's gonna help before you hit that level 2 activation. And really killing the drive gauge. And really looking at what Kosa's doing on defense. Not just running the script. Just being like, okay, you're probably gonna go for like a tap parry and take the last bit of bar. And I'm gonna keep that up. Finally, we see a game with Gaki's side. The medium is there to stop the drive rush.
Like that. Aggression coming in clutch again. OD uppercut. As a rebuttal from Kosa. The slide from downtown actually Fold gets his counter it. Kosa not able to react to the overhead on time.
Again. That's what I want to see, man. That's what I want to see. Waka-chan, OD, overhead. Oh, you are definitely dead. Deader than that. No, excuse me. I thought there was going to be another follow-up. Might as well be one hit. Try to go command grab. Oh, you'll keep it solid, bro. Keep it solid. He lost in the sauce. There you go. Had an intervention with himself. Found the jab. Staying on set point.
Aggressive, we do get the lightning beam activation. All with a block string, training a lot of the drive gauge. What a rebuttal. Catching the Blanco ball all the way down as a punish counter, baiting out the drive reversal, backing away. So to recover some of that drive gauge, does get a punish counter. Again, Takagi kind of playing the same was he was doing in game 1 and game 2. He was looking at quantum moments, whipping everything in front of Kosa.
A lot more intent now. Iteration to the side if he wants to, goes for the knee bombs instead. Nice risk right there. Oh, that's a knockdown based on the ODP for free. Go for a super here? No. Take the first one over the Tatsu, roll with the kick. Another bait, another reward. Kosa don't have to spend any bar at all. Set point.
Pivotal moment. Kosa's got 3 bars to his name as well. Any sort of conversion could really hurt against Takagi. Again, falling susceptible to the knee bombs. Actually trying to activate it in a range where Kosa is maybe trying to counter poke or react to it. I like that. Very lucky for the side of Takagi. Jump back medium punch.
It's a pickup here. Russell Shabs this time on the wake up. Finds it back though. As soon as he halts the pressure, he's there. And now finds a perfect parry, trying to get the jump in. Little man is there to fight back. Yo, son, assist me. Overhead blocked out. Grip right after it though. Gaki, do this. Nice back step. The finesse and press with this man. Arrest. Final game. We're going to final game.
It's imperative for CAG Osaka. If they score this 40 bomber, this could be a whole different story getting into the playoffs for this team. Can they secure the big 170-point ball game and put Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto in their grave?
It happened. Strong start. Sweet. Nice and close to get the lead. The hop, nice and close to keep the bar up as well. Shugeki, in the distance, no punish though. No big deal. He has him right where he wants him. Again, not losing a ton of health in these round start scenarios. Forcing out raw sweep stuff from Kosa. A lot more activity from the Ryu.
On the drive brush medium. Kosa. Damn! Huge delay. Uh-oh, lightning beast coming in! The pickup. Set up for little fella. Got it. Raw Fierce on wake up. What in the hell is going on?
say I'm gonna play my biggest, but I'm gonna die. I'm gonna go out swinging, but my man is swinging right back. What a rebuttal! What a button to throw out on wake up. But the reward is perfect. Set point for Kosa. Forced to do things like this, but I'll tell you one thing. We could have died for that. I can't finds the anti right there.
My man woke up with standing heavy punch. What do you mean, son? Oh, the counter hit and the timing, brother. Oh, ain't no way, dude. Knock it up for level 3. Oh, Taka can still do it. Counter it! Oh, this is huge. Don't wait for the super. Secures the tie break. Oh my god, did he just do the choke? Did he just do the choke emote? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Did I see that, or was that like a sigh of relief? Because he definitely be showing off something. That was crazy.
Knowing Kosa, I'm gonna say that was a sigh of relief. But if that was a choke emote, that's foul.
No.
That's
It looked like it for a split second, but I think it was like one of those like cross-handed, like, oh my god, thank goodness I got it kind of thing.
Oh, like, okay. That'd have been too foul, but honestly, what a late position. It was Kosa being pushed to be more active. It was Kosa being pushed to play things like wake up, stand fierce, walk up, crouching, medium punch. Where before he was standing in one spot, he was chilling, he was cooling. Tadaki pushed him to do these different things where he was doing driver slide kick, bigger buttons and things like that being played, but he was routing things back by having great defense. As we mentioned so many times, he gets to level 2, take the best option. We saw perfect parries, we saw punishes with like raw DPs, we saw him keep his bar up, and now we see 20-20, Kosa still in for his team. Kobion having to go up against Uriyo, who can play so many different characters. It might be kind of dicey having him at the end right there, so we'll have to see what's chosen. I would imagine C-Viper, but you know what though, when I think about it, I gotta ask you, what do you think about Geef versus C-Viper? Like if he goes for that, because Jamie's a good pick, but what do you think about if he goes for the C-Viper pick?
This one's kind of iffy. I think C-Viper suffers the same fate as like Bison does in this matchup when she gets knocked down. It is going to be the Viper. Outside of that, I think C-Viper does a great job of like playing the keep away game, and also the biggest threat that she has are like the access she has to low normals, right? Oh, I just dropped something below me. That's it. Low medium kick is a really high, like really long normal to kind of prevent Zangief from throwing out like crouching, or sorry, setting heavy punch to kind of like steal away the space with the fierces, with the armor, etc. Seismo also is a great kind of deterrent to prevent Zangief players from walking in because of his walk speed. Even so, being able to feint Seismo to go into like an anti-air Thunder Knuckle is really imperative. And also the biggest thing, I think C-Viper is allowed to jump in on Zangief better than the entire cast, right? Maybe with the exception of possibly Akuma being able to do like Demon Raid and change like his angles for dive kick and to be on top of like Zangief like that, but C-Viper being able to do like super jumps or even regular jumps right above Zangief or even in front of him, and then delay her approach with like a heavy burn kick to get like a possible cross up depending on the angle, or even like right on top of Zangief, just like at a certain timing to prevent the lariats from hitting, is a pretty big deal. I've seen a lot of C-Viper players kind of abuse that and try to work their way against Zangief, and once they get timid enough to stop doing lariats, C-Viper gets a lot of jumping, which is kind of annoying for Zangief to deal with. So I think as long as C-Viper does not get knocked down, she has a very viable chance to make this a lopsided match.
I think whenever I watch like the few matches I've seen Kobion play, like it seems like it's difficult for him to get in. Once he gets in, he gets his win. But like trying to poke with those beautiful buttons, like to counter poke her beyond the crouch meter kick that she has, feels like it's fine. But as you mentioned, Seismo, the jump ins, the aerial approach, all difficult to deal with. Calling out the throws too as well continuously. You know, his side of things, when he's in burnout, it's hard for him to even get in. And even outside of that, when he's not in burnout, trying to drive rush up and trying to initiate, seems like it might be kind of difficult too as well. Kobion says, my hands are shaky. The team did so much to go to the playoffs, and I will get everything out for this game. Uriyo says, thank the team for letting me go as Viper. Had a lot of practice against anybody in Seoul's team, so I'll win and get interviewed again. He is hoping to pop off in that interview, or maybe not, but either way, hoping to at least sound off some success in that interview, or at least get a chance to interview. We'll see though. Kobion doing some labbing too. It all comes down to this. He gets the lion's share of the points at 30-20. Kobion, Uriyo, let's get it. Medium fast, Sam medium. Nice and close.
Damn, I love the classic outfit. And costume 1, what a beast. The knockdown, the forward throw as well. Could abuse the side if need be. It's drive rush, low medium kick. You tried it. Damn, actually that was enough time of a gap. Hey, I like this. Number 1 had to spend it. In the first round, is Urio in his zone too. He's shaking back and forth a little bit. He's feeling his groove right now with his character.
Bring me back to the old me. Street Fighter 4 me. Oh, too close though. SPD. Gonna play a button on what was happening after that. Interruption gets the size mode. He knows what to do. Release the fake outs. Burn kicks, able to hit up in the corner. Go on drive gauge. We see the OD in the follow-up right after. Forcing Kobe to get hit.
Oh! You can't punish that. Yeah, so OD Thunder Knuckle Kobeon wasn't familiar with it. That is -2 after all.
That frame data. Yeah, and one more hit. That's going to be it. Urio. Everything right there to give. With all the pressure in the world. I'm seeing what you're putting down previously. Aerial approach is hard to stop. Offense is great. The size moves, the fake outs too as well. Some have gotten command grab, but then it resets back to neutral, and then Urio's like, that's fine. If you're at this distance, I can do size move again. I can do fake out. We saw also after some of these knockdowns, stand line kick ready and prepared to interrupt that follow-up that Kobeon tried to dash in and get going. So for Kobeon, some of this looks like a little bit of like shakiness. A little matchup knowledge lacking in that department, but also it feels like Urio's just smothering him so he can't get going.
Well, I mean, I think there's a half truth to that in regards to like the ender that we saw, like trying to go for something like a normal and then commit to a follow-up as if it were a punish counter. Obviously not the case. OG Thunder Knuckle being -2, not going to be punishable. But I will say there was some pretty decent matchup knowledge in regards to like the forward heavy kick coming in from Urio to poke with. That's also -2, and Kobeon pretty much took his turn, still having Sea Viper within range, and you tried to counter hit against Urio. So Urio wasn't going to be able to press any sort of button for free, so Kobeon took that liberty in SPD. One of the other big notices that, or one of the other big things that I noticed from side of Kobeon is that he understood that if Urio goes for any sort of cancel into Seismo, like if he does low forward super jump cancel Seismo, one, it's not a true block string, and also if he decides to feint and go for another normal or just feint and back off, he's going to be pretty negative. Not punishable, but pretty negative. And he stole an SPD off of that sequence as well. So Kobeon does have some understanding around the Seismo game, or at least the feint for that matter. But in regards to some of the smaller things that you don't really see too often, like OD Thunder Knuckle, it might have caught him off guard temporarily.
Now. Oh, makes with the focus attack. The order to blow through. Similar to Geep, honestly. Backs up against the OP. He punish at a half for crouch through starter. Bring the rest to get that OP nice and close. Perfect parries the string. He knew the third piece is going to come through. Wake up super avoided. Man, there is no hitbox on that sucker.
Damn. Just chopping away. Now the approach. I like that. Using the armor against a grounded burn kick. Oh, that's huge. Big punish incoming as well. Spinning the meter for the Oki. Gets the dash up and the follow up with the Thunder Knuckle as well. I like this now. Painting size moves. But the jump in, being able to react to it. Kobeon plenty of time. That bad boy is over 20. The size of startup, excuse me. 24.
Quite a bit. Good reaction though from Kobeon. Space to try to counter poke. It's able to hit. We're going to get that plus right there. Rise a little right after. So much up for lights. You're going to get that knockdown. You have the bar for it. Heavy knuckle. I think that's creating that variance in the neutral. Set up by the time of the jump. A lot harder. So much to worry about.
Yeah. Urio is pretty much like cognizant of what Kobeon is looking for, right? Like, he's not going to have Kobeon flinch, though. He has not. There it is. Dude, his discipline is out of control, and that one's way faster. That is 19 frames. Kobeon fully reacting to the OD Seismo as well. Ain't no way. Not dead yet. Urio still has a chance. He's a level 2, by the way. or at least 2 bars of level 1 to fend off Zangief. But do not get hit.
The turn.
I repeat. Sea Viper can land a single hit to go into level 2. I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he went for the sweep.
All buttons. We had bar for crouching medium kick to cancel into, possibly to poke with. Surprised the sweep was coming out there. It's for Uyo. Let me think back what I said so far. You know the matchup. It's good to go. Punishing and getting the knockdown. Round start. Uyo. Twice the plus frame. Gets the driver's heavy kick to catch the jump back. Very smart stuff right there. SPD. Bam. Drive gauge being depleted and deleted. The raw sweep. In again. He is not letting off the gas right now.
Oh, counter hit! You get a crouching medium punch, excuse me. Oh, roundhouse. Forced to block, by the way. Hella plus off of the drive rush. Catches the low! He doesn't need to convert it to anything else. He gets the Thunder Knuckle follow, or he could have gotten the follow up either way, but it was just enough damage. Match point now for Udio.
We're having to get some drivers behind it from plus frames. Sweep though, perfect parry. It's his turn. Grab right after, the size will harass to that drive gauge, and then seeks in the burn kick right after. I think I would not close enough to get the SPD. Anti-air, yes sir, nice and close. That follow for the Oki. Kobe blocks, takes his turn. Uyo trying to press the button there.
Oh, out of there! He could have killed, I think. I think he could have done a full dump out.
Level 3?
I think he could have killed Zangief off of that.
Oh no, I'm alive.
No shot. He still manages to get the W either way. The standing light kick into the medium Thunder Knuckle. Easy cancel into level 3. CAG Osaka stays alive with playoff potential hopes and dreams.
Well done. CAG Osaka, relying upon a DLC character, that's a big ask to try to stay in this league right now. Relying upon a DLC. Some that said the character might be too weak and left her to the wayside after playing for a little bit, but not this cat. He's been running her since Street Fighter 4, well, only in Street Fighter 4, and we see her again out here. Able to do so by his team, well trusted in. Kobeon not able to close it out, clutch it out. But man, that doesn't go too badly for Seoul. They only need 20 points to stay in the race, so they do have 20 points right now, but it's going to be a lot harder to climb up and stay fine. You want them 40 bombers, you want 30 bombers, whatever you need. You need some more points comparatively to other people out here. We'll deny the points of the other team as much as possible, so you can make that climb up there. But either way, CAG Osaka, as you mentioned, much better off than what we thought, at least what I thought when they came in here. Well done with that. I got to give him big credit to come out here with this character, man.
Yeah, and Udio with the pop-up as well towards the end. I gotta say, man, the defense was rather impressive for the side of Udio. I felt like Kobeon didn't really have a lot of opportunities to enforce the type of pressure that we're so used to seeing from him, that we're so known, that we pretty much know him for, excuse me. So I'm rather impressed to see Udio kind of like survive the potential threat of getting knocked down by Zangief and also being up close as well. So nice work for CAG Osaka, the W they've been looking for so long.
まずはですね、先鋒戦に出ましたエータ選手からお話を伺いたいと思います。エータさん、かなり嬉しい勝利なんじゃないですか。
I feel like for a lot of these teams that are lower in the runs, like that are under playoff points, it's not that they're weak, it's just that they're not gaining as much continuously, and it's just small minute things in terms of solidifying their W's, in terms of placing players here or there for strategy. A lot closer than what we've seen in previous leagues where some teams will get farmed for points, or some players will just not even be present. But I really feel like these teams have all stepped up and shown out. And again, this makes it so great because you don't know who's going to take it, who's going to be in playoff potential. Because all these players, like now CAG Osaka and Seoul, are still capable of making the playoffs. Still very much capable, depending on what happens today, that may go to the wayside. But it's still there. It's still a possibility where last year or years before, some teams are already kind of out at this point.
いやでもお見事。
Right, I mean, all things considered, CAG Osaka scoring 30 points for themselves. Let me fill that into my chart, by the way. 30 points themselves. Now sitting on 160 points, if I'm not mistaken. Crazy Raccoon has 180 currently. They have a 20-point lead. All things considered, what's the maximum that CAG Osaka needs? Right, they need a 40 bomber. They need an immaculate game in. Okay, let me really break it down. So to tie with Crazy Raccoon, right, they need 20 points. Pretty doable, right? If they get that W in week number 10, they might be in there. If Crazy Raccoon does not succeed at all with any sort of points possible, right? There is a potential 80 points on the line for Crazy Raccoon for the rest of the season, right? So you can do the math out on that one. There is going to be a threshold, however. If Crazy Raccoon manages to score about like 20 points, I think, even with their game differentials and also like the matchups they had between each other during the round robins, I think even if they tie in points, Crazy Raccoon will still take it over CAG Osaka.
That's nice.
But it really depends.
But it could happen. Yeah. It happened. Game could definitely take it. We've seen things happen that have been much crazier in terms of teams taking over teams that you might expect or not expect. We're getting the winner interview though. We'll break down the map a little bit later on too as well. Ada says, I'm so happy. Really nice to win with everybody. I'm good against the Geef matchup, but there wasn't anyone to play against the two Ryus. Uriel was really good at the Zangief matchup, so he was the anchor, or at least the extra match for that. So it's great that they still had like rotating people that could fight just in case, but could also step up for the other characters. As Eita had said, he's like, I'm good against the Ryu, so let me take those, give those to me, you take care of the rest from there. So I like that switch up. I like the confidence that team has in each other's players and their characters and their DLC. Even though the characters new, they're like, I believe in you being able to take that W. Finrich says, I was also surprised to see two Finriches, and if he was Finrich, he would have guarded the overhead, but he got hit by it, so I won't approve of his mimics. He said, if that was me, I would have got hit by it personally.
I still can't believe Memo came in with the interview swinging. What a beast. Like, that's a different level of confidence that I've never seen before. My man was just like trying to get personal with me. But surely they gotta be homies, right? If somebody's gonna be willing to do that in a pregame interview with thousands of people watching. But I don't know. Maybe I'm digging a little bit too deep. But I will say it was great to see Uriel come in. Obviously, he's getting his post-game interview that he was looking for. It's great to see him like sharpen up the Sea Viper from the last time we saw him. Obviously, he's still exercising that Jamie, still really, really competent. But I think this was an excellent choice putting Uriel in for the extra match specifically against Kobion. I feel like that's the first time we've really seen Kobion feel like a little bit restrained, right? Like I don't think he found an approach, like a right approach against Uriel's Viper, nor scored as many knockouts as he was looking for.
Yeah, typically that does happen for him, and when I watch him practice and train, like it seems like he's, at least in the couple matches I did watch, it seemed like he was well informed to fight that match, but the way that Uriel was playing, especially with that forward heavy kick with drivers behind it, enforcing more plus frame scenarios, being outside the distance of the SPDs continuously, it just felt like it was just too much for him. Even last time, he won the anchor match for his team, and last time it was Uriel that came up with Jamie, obviously different character, and he won that pretty convincingly. Different day today. Miyaki says, I'm really sorry I lost in the anchor spot, but the veterans on my team were really strong, so thanks to the team. Uriel says, yo, why am I so white? We couldn't get the Ryu match ready, and I was really good at the Zangief match, so I let Ada play for Ryu. Hey, Uriel said,
what did he say?
He just said he's too light.
Context is everything. Context is everything. Either way, pretty happy to see this type of W being celebrated from CAG Osaka. Eita still huffing and puffing. I don't know what he's on right now, but I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, pretty ecstatic lineup, pretty ecstatic team. I mean, they have one more week of gameplay left. There is potential for them as well. CAG Osaka, for what we know, could score the big 200 the next time around. Let me take a full look at the schedule, actually, and spoil it for you. Oh boy. You know what's crazy?
What's that?
They have to fight against Crazy Raccoon. They have their own fate for playoffs in their hands next week. What kind of crazy stuff is that? They fight off against Crazy Raccoon in the final week, and depending on how Crazy Raccoon does today, it could be the huge difference maker. Let's say if Crazy Raccoon falls to Victrix Fafu Gaming, if they get to 10, that's 190. If they beat Crazy Raccoon in week 10, that could be a huge difference. That could actually put them into third place, all things considered, depending on how Victrix Fafu Gaming does as well.
It could happen. We've seen blowups happen. We've seen these top two teams that people expect to win in both divisions lose. So it can have people saying that's not a copium and hopium, but we've seen it literally happen previously. So keep watching, yo. Your destiny's written by your own hands out here at Street Fighter League. And we might be seeing it happen and occur in the next episode. But we're so focused on this one right now. Faber says it's great that we won, but this is the last episode. But it's the last episode that counts. We'll do our best to proceed towards the playoffs. As you mentioned, Crazy Raccoon is where it really counts, even today. But they just have to wait and see and hope for their demise.
Crazy, man. It's crazy how things work out towards the 10th week, right? I'm not going to spoil out too much who's going to be playing. I mean, that's going to be reserved towards the end of the show. But I had to lay that out on the line. Crazy Raccoon versus CAG OSAKA towards the end. It is going to be peak cinema going forward. Speaking of, we have match number 2 coming your way. Nagoya NTPOJA versus Good 8 Squad. Not without saying what's up to our sponsors as we get ready for it again. Everything in the world of Japan regarding Street Fighter 6, you got to check them out. Capcom_esports. That's where I get all the latest and greatest information in regards to what's going on in that scene and what's going to be going up into like the World Warriors, what the players are going to be doing in general. A lot going into this year's Street Fighter League. And also, we have to pay attention to our sponsors going through it. Galeria have done a really great job of providing these really high-end PC setups. I had the luxury, I've been talking about this every single week. I had the luxury of being able to like broadcast Street Fighter League Japan off of one, had the luxury of being able to stream off of one and play some Street Fighter 6 consistently. It's been a staple for a lot of other esports events out there outside of the realm of FGC. It's been a really, really big deal to see them as a critical sponsor of Street Fighter League Japan this year.
It's good to have a place to play where you know your game is going to work, and also for other things too as well. Great to have fighting games be supported by PC. So, you know, if you need that, get that. And I wish we had it over here, but Larry, thank you so much for your support. Also, Suzuki, thank you for being an official supporter of the entire season of Capcom Esports and everything that encompasses Street Fighter League and the World Warriors and everything around that too as well. Again, they have their bikes at multiple events. You guys can take your picture, which at every, I feel like every episode I mentioned this, I haven't taken a picture yet. I will do at Capcom Cup on the jury bike. And if they're looking for another one that they can make, well, I can suggest an Alex, a Sagad, maybe an Akuma. Hopefully they continue making more of these with these beautiful designs, because these are super sick. You know, it's great just to have support for everything related to Street Fighter and esports, and really give these players something more to play for. And us just something fun to do ever like at an event. Taking pictures on this is actually super sick. I feel like everybody and their mother has done so besides me, so I'll have to do that. Also, I have some of this merch, but I do believe some of the merch is out. 3 teams have been sold out. I think it was Zeta, Hiroshima previously, but I'm not sure the last team that is sold out right now.
I think that's the reject team. It says Tokido, at least on the first part of it. It should be the reject team that got sold out.
Reject also. That makes sense. They're doing so well in this season. So hopefully they get that all restocked for a Capcom Cup, because then I have to take another suitcase and take all these items back with me. They're so amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's been a really interesting time to see like how much of the support coming in from the Japanese fans to even like solicit the production of this type of merchandise, right? Like, I also have really enjoyed the shirt quality that they've thrown out, and also the keycaps, just the little tidbits, the little knickknacks that they've thrown out all together for Street Fighter League. But again, we got a lot to go through. Match number 2 gonna be coming up real soon after this break. Do not go anywhere, as this is the critical point for Division S. We'll see you in just a bit.
それでは一旦失礼いたします。
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
さあ、やりましょうか。いい？これでおやすみなさい。え？そうね。さてと、さっさと片付けましょう。たく、人使い荒いわ。速やかに消します。
大カプコン展、ついに東京で開催。世界を魅了し続けるカプコン、ゲーム作りの裏側に迫る貴重な展覧会。新たなグッズも登場。詳しくは公式サイトで。
マチャボーのチャンスはまだまだ続く。
何もしない。
ただこれ OD ハ
おお、何？
なんだそれ。なんかいいこと起きる。
どうなんだこれ。
なんかいいこと起きるの。
違ったっぽい。
いやでもまあいいねいいねいいね。
まだ間に合っていた。さあまだ前に出る。投げが入って画面端。
ゲージもたまる。
さあしっかりとサイコストームまで。
いいインパクトだったな。完全に頭なかったな。
すごいバーンさんっていうかみんなすごい。
ねえ画面端を取りながら。
でかいでかい。お終わるぞ終わるぞ。
おい。最後に投げてまだ足りない。オッケー。さあまずいぞ。画面端を背負った数もには3ゲージあるがゲージは使いたくない状況。上。
終わった終わった。はい簡単なコンボでいいよマジで。
オーバーキルで。
痛い痛い痛い痛い。
ポイントは KB。
強気すぎ。
これは？
ジャスパー。ケビが前に出る。
マジで言ってくれ頼む。言ったよなこれ。
折り狂って。
祈る KB。
終わった。マジでかいなこれ。
今日のですね勝利で、プレイオフが名古屋 NTPOJA確定ということです。現時点で。
すごい。ありがとう。
And we are back with the second part of this episode. It's going NTPOJA versus Good 8 Squad. Two top dogs battling it out. So who's going to get a further place in the playoffs, or at least for one of them, they're already there. That's the going NTPOJA. They're all warded off by the Daredevil Bounty Hunter. Nothing guilty about his place. Mochi coming through with the Akuma, with actually a starlight, shining star out here when it comes to Street Fighter League. Toyama, so Tani also backing him up with that Ken. Let's see what he cooks up today and where he's going to be positioned. After that is going to be the Kung Fu fanatic himself, always finally confirms that he needs with that Chun-Li. It's Seiya, who's been a strong component of the team in the second part of the season. For good reason, they're all led by the Hammer, the God himself, KB, and that BB standing for bust ass or business, whatever you want to call it. My man is undefeated out here in League. Nagoya NTPOJA sits at the top currently. Can they retain it? Good 8 Squad looking to stop that from happening.
Why is it that I always get caught trying to do the knee pose with KB? I feel like I've gotten that majority of the time. Why has that always been a thing? Anyways, let's take a look at the home team coming into it. Man, I am not fit to do that pose ever again. Sweet Jesus. Good 8 Squad coming up next with the home field advantage. This is going to be a huge determiner as to whether or not they're going to get that first place position, or a pretty big deal actually, obviously, with the tough group. But either way you spin it, champion caliber team, especially with the fearless one, it is Sahara, one of my personal favorite rookies to take the stage this year in the CPT. And sometimes this guy, he comes in with the poetic bars, but can he come in with the poetic bust ass, the cosmic buster, Pugera? One of my favorite players in general. The guy seems like a real chill guy, to be quite honest with you, but also extremely powerful. The singularity, it is Kawano. Last but not least, the honest hero, Gachikun. Keeping it real with that Rashid. You know, I feel like as of late, we haven't really seen as much Gachikun lately, right? Like in week 7, he fell short 0-2. In week 8, he took a little bit of a breather and decided to bench himself. I think we're long overdue for some Rashid.
Yeah, I mean, at least the last time that they played, he took down Seiya. But again, as you mentioned, it's been some time since he's been out here in the streets fighting out for his team. And maybe he's been taking a backseat role. He's a left right, maybe giving that information to his team. But I'd like to see him play with that character. But here's the order. Nagoya NTPOJA on the away side. Seiya, Mochi, KB, of course, put him in the equal position. Last time, they didn't do that. Last time, they lost 10-3 to Good 8 Squad. I like them going for the equal position for KB. He's been so dominant. He has not lost a single match in totality. He's lost, you know, games here and there in rounds, but in terms of like an entire set, it's not happened. And Otani in the background. I like this composition overall. How do you feel about it?
This is the first time we've really seen kind of like KB in like his prime form in a long time. The only time he's actually fallen short was against Shuto, and even so, it was a very close game. It didn't even lead to an actual L against KB. So I like him in the anchor spot, obviously, to secure as much of a lead as possible against Good 8 Squad to solidify themselves into first place, right? All things said and done, though, Sahara has been a huge driving force towards the success of Good 8 Squad. Just look at the amount of points. He's got 90 to his name alone, with 6 W's under his belt against a plethora of different characters. Majority of them, Akuma, obviously he has the type, but he's also faced off against one of the Chun-Li's out here and is taking the W. So I am quite concerned. On the other hand, you take a look at Seiya, he does have a W against, I feel like a Shoto at least. He's got Akuma, he's got one against Blanca, he's got one against Sea Viper. I think he's also overdue for a big W. I think if there's any other matchup that he feels okay with, I think it's the Ed matchup.
It's just so difficult because I feel like when you have that travel experience that Sahara's had, when you have the ability to like fly around the world and fight other players of other characters and things like that. We've been doing so well online and offline. It's a tall order, but Seiya, as you mentioned, at least the past 2 games he's played, or the 2 matches he's played, he's taking some W's out here. Maybe not the same character. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here, like Sahara's side. I feel like Ed Probably doesn't do that bad against Chun-Li. Can outrange her, out-fireball her. The flicker cutting through too as well. She can Hazatsu. She does have some anti-fireball things, but maybe they're more predictive. Maybe they're not as consistent when you have to worry about the other buttons that Ed can present. But then again, his buttons are a little bit on the slower side. So I'm wondering how that's all going to interact together. I see this matchup too often, so I'm not sure who really swings which way in terms of gets that W. But you know Sahara's definitely going to be well lapped out. But then again, Seiya is so good in terms of if he finds a hit off a counter hit or for a medium punch or back medium punch, whatever it may be, it usually leads into something significant for him for either Oki, like a spinning bird kick ender or what have you. So usually it makes his hits count.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. So it is rather difficult to kind of like judge whether or not like Seiya's gonna have the capabilities to stop someone like Sahara, right? He's just been so potent in regards to his performance in the CPT. Like even thinking about it on paper is quite a conundrum. I don't really know if there's like a lot that Chun-Li can do to kind of like stop Ed in neutral. Right, I think Ed's slightly outrange Chun-Li, but not by much. I feel like also Chun-Li has the capability of being able to whiff punish said limbs if Sahara happens to whiff, right? So, for what it's worth, I like Chun-Li being able to throw out like fireballs and follow through with it. I like her being able to Hazanchu past like the spark fireball follow-up. And I will say I like Chun-Li's defensive capabilities a lot more in comparison to Ed, and also having a level 2 is a pretty big, I want to say like change of momentum, or at least it shifts the balance of momentum against the opponent, right? I think level 2 does a great job of threatening a lot of like fireball options, obviously for a lot of the cast, but also I think it could be potential danger if Sahara ends up going for like a charge flicker a little bit too close and can't kill rush backwards out of range. So it really depends. We'll see how it develops in the hands of Seiya and Sahara. I'm actually quite curious to see like how this matchup goes between the two. So I personally cannot call it.
Either say it's a lot of practice, like to do his best. Top matchup, so we need to win to get first place. Sorry, said we can't lose a single game. We'll go for the 40. We'll get that 40 bomber. It can happen. But the person to start off. You played a button for the +1? You demon. Welcome throw right after that.
I like that.
Challenging.
Let him know you're not scared. I like that.
I'll start too.
Ooh. Baiting out the parry. Very tantalizing to do so when you see that flicker. Sahara pretty much keen and reactive to that.
Take out the spark. Try to bail on Sanji. OD coming through. As you mentioned, the fireballs allowing her to get forward, skate forward. It does use bar, but this is one of those matchups that you're probably have to use a little bit more OD. Cut through the limbs. Let's follow up Seiya. First round for him. Take throw. Fireball right after. Another faster one right after. Seiya holding his ground.
Firing away with that flicker, and now a couple of sparks, a bunch of sparks over to prevent Seiya from moving on forward, but the counter hit on the startup of the Cobra, by the way. With the back throw.
Oh, got the recovery. The crumple right there, a little bit of damage. Once again, OD fireball to initiate. Something Sahara needs to look for is like, how much can I waste his bar? Make him waste that bar, like go in. Chun-Li's a thirsty girl in terms of getting damage off, the drive rush off too as well. Drive reversal up in the corner. Seiya getting checked the challenge. Try to pull up. And I like that kill rush back to get the anti-air. So go for the throw right after. Drive rush chef to initiate. Knocked it away. Sahara on full throttle right now. Level 1 to kill. And level 2 in the next round. You got to worry about that. The sleepy time.
The amount of control that Sahara has in this corner has just been forcing Seiya to make the incorrect decisions over and over and over again. But now we get the big initiator coming in from Seiya. And now the corner control on the other foot, right? A very important tech. Seiya did not want to give up that positioning. Definitely worth that delayed tech from the side of Seiya. But now it's Sahara finds the bust out. We get the blitz, kill rush forward. Now the back throw. Let's see if Seiya can let the fireballs do the talking primarily. Sahara throwing out different avenues. He's throwing out like certain normals. He's throwing out a couple of flickers as well. He's trying to bait something big from the side of Seiya, right? Hence why he's throwing out some of these limbs at certain ranges.
Flicker, off the driver stand fears. Can't get close enough to be able to initiate just yet. But also hesitation. Oh, I was gonna mention that there could have been a button right there, maybe a stand medium kick. But he goes for the button, gets perfect parry. That new change working out for Seiya to take him towards the corner. Back throw? No, instead, walks back with no button right after though. Seiya had the counter, no confirm to the crouching medium kick. That pressure going.
Ooh.
On him lacking.
Couple of throws now. Sahara taking the round right back. 25 seconds left on the clock, by the way. Both stocked up at 3. Sahara cannot throw a fireball. Not even try to fake out a spark. Sahara actually looking for any sort of... Okay. I was going to say any saving grace for some of these limbs. Seiya actually falls right into the trap.
So many different things to look out for in the neutral. Yeah, you can perfect parry a flicker, but what about the fireballs? Stand medium kick, crouching heavy punch, crouching heavy kick, excuse me. Or any other limbs that want to come out like at a mid to long range that he's got to utilize. And then drive rush jab, drive rush throw, forward fierce we've seen off the drive rush as well to apply the plus frames. There's so many different looks that you're looking out for, you can't find them all. Sahara already up around, or game, excuse me. Heavy fireball, trying to utilize that to clip a limb, perfect parry just to get in. Tick throw. Finish. So close to doing so though. That back throw.
Not really able to take much. Can you believe it? Sahara again pressing against a plus frame normal. Standing medium punch just does not phase Sahara by any means.
Same sort of game Seiya was playing earlier. It's a fireball, but no big deal. Comes perfect carry to a punish right after when he gets close enough. Might just hold the ground right after, honestly. Get Wallsy with the buttons. Perfect parry, swatted away. Yeah, see? Tries to go for that stand medium kick.
Sahara so patient with it as well. So disciplined to even stay within certain ranges. Hazanshu actually catching just the flicker hold. Damn, son. Explosive
Rip.
Towards the end. Sahara is just playing the clock down so well against Seiya, right? Seiya has no choice sometimes to just kind of sit still. Certain ranges and certain normals, he's not going to be able to whip punish for, but he tried to get a little overzealous. He thought a throw was coming. And to be fair, Sahara threw out that look a bunch of times over in game 1, and now is continuing to do so. Back-to-back throws. Seiya, after getting punish countered once by it, took 2. But now the 10 choke kicks. I like that. Catching a delayed button, crouching heavy punch off of the drive rush from Seiya.
Pushing forward. Back throw, the kid to killer. Sahara trying for the throw. One attack. Very important right there. Wouldn't have killed, but would have put him on damn near death door to play around like a DI, whatever he wanted. Sahara just being able to back up range where he wants to play and get the bar back in the green. Fierce. Go for any sort of OD. Real strike though, because he wasn't holding parry. It's a one-touch scenario. Stacking the stand mediums, blocks out the low, holding parry as well. Ends the turn. He tried to play his turn. It wasn't his to give. There was no screen right there. But it's all good stuff. One of the goodest boys, Sahara taking it 2-0. Such dominance in the neutral. You mentioned the fact that there are moments that Charlie could probably been punished, but the ranges that Sahara was backing up, so that wasn't able to happen. The variance of flicker and fireballs, even when perfect parry every so often, was so hard for him to deal with. Seiya just couldn't even move forward. Even with that beautiful walk speed that she has, the Hazanshu coming through, couldn't find any sort of timing. And then when you hit the brakes, that's a drive rush jab, drive rush forward, heavy punch, flicker or fireball, or initiation, regardless from Sahara.
Yeah, there's been like so much control from the side of Sahara. Like, where it felt like even if Seiya had some big impactful moments like this, it didn't last for too long, right? Like Sahara just made the right decisions so many times on defense, and also forced so many errors upon Seiya, right? Like even his counter poke game and his counter timing game against Seiya was just too prime and pristine. Like he has just been ready for this matchup, and that kind of patience is quite rare in my opinion. So Sahara getting that 2 games straight over Seiya, really well deserved.
Again, people think this game is so fast-paced all the time, but there's a lot of control that you can have when you think it doesn't even matter the character. But well done. That means that they're qualified for the playoffs. Where they land is going to depend on the points, and with that 40 bomber, really deny the points on the other side of things for NTPOJA. Bulgaria with the jury. No Sagat, no Bison, but we have seen this character come up. Let me see if this was the time that he played jury, if it was against this team. It was actually against this team. It was against Otani. Right, okay. See on the screen right there, too.
Right, yeah, so like a plethora of different characters from the side of Pugera, going back to his roots with the jury. I was wondering if he would actually throw out the C Viper for this matchup. I had kind of seen it like dabbled with on stream a little bit, but kind of interesting to see. I don't think Sagat is something he would pull out for the Shoto matchups, but Jury I think is going to be just fine for him.
It's weird because I feel like he doesn't do that well against Sakuma usually for the Jury players that I talk to. However, maybe it's like a stylistic sort of thing. I'm not sure. Like, Bulgaria is such a wily person. Like, he uses characters like as tools, similar to like Mena RD. Some things aren't really matchup based. They're more. I think it's going to work against this player in the first or two or whatever sort of scenario. So it's like that same sort of ideation on how to use these characters, how he rotates them in and out. Last time he did take down Otani, so it was on the Shoto user. So I'm curious to see what work he's been doing in the background because he does a lot of work in the background where he's playing on the stream with, like, as you mentioned, C Viper, and then pulls out a brand new different character the next day, or a character from an older time or like a previous season or whatever. But his jury has been good. I mean, his jury was great in season 1. We saw it pull out season 2, and even out here in this season, it's been pretty damn good. So he's been practicing in the background. But you're going up against one of the daredevils out here, the daredevil himself, who has been actually explosive in terms of Street Fighter League, in terms of his uprising. This Akuma, Mochi's Akuma, has been nothing short of excellent. His walk speed, how he utilizes the characters, spacing and space traps, the pushback after certain things, and it goes for like a crouching medium punch, how he uses movement, how he uses your movement around what you try to do, how he blows it all up is nothing short of excellent. Like, this guy is so good with the Akuma, and I'm glad to see him transition from a different game to this one after maybe not the best season into a great season.
I would agree with that. Like, that's definitely one of the big highlights going in from like the previous season. Mochi, I felt like the odd man out for a few instances. Really, I think he was just sort of trying to get acclimated to like the game systems and also to like the team environment for Street Fighter League as well. So there were a couple of factors that I will say was played against him. And now that he's fully transitioned into 6, could not agree more with your statements, honestly. On the side of Pugera, right, he's been juggling a ton of different characters for certain matchups, right? He's already got 4 under his belt, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's got Bison, Jury, Sagat, C Viper, but I feel like that's not really too much for him to balance. I think he's been used to stuff like that. I think he's been well suited for that type of rotation, and he's always been one to really challenge himself with the DLCs as soon as they come out. So I'm kind of curious to see like what's going to be the play for the side of Mochi. I think if anything, he's much more comfortable in a matchup like Jury in comparison to facing off against the Sagat, facing off against the Viper. So we'll see how this goes, man. I think there's a lot of merit for Mochi to kind of take it, right? I think he's going to be well informed for this matchup.
I think he is, but he did say it's the worst pick for him. He wanted Gachikun to play against him, but he'll do his best for the win. He says that, but I think this is a really studious dude. Like, despite the fact of what he's saying right there, I feel like for him personally, like Mochi, I feel like he's a really studious dude. He's going to be ready for anything that comes his way. But as you mentioned, Bulgaria, if he's pulling out these characters, there's a reason behind them. There's a strategy behind this. He said, I was ready for anybody in Nagoya, and Mochi came to play against me. I'll do my best to get away with the home side today. Again, they need that 40 bomb just to really deny NTPOJA any more sort of marching towards that top and secure themselves further at that top spot. And again, Good 8 squad at the playoffs, that's great. They've already earned their way there. But again, you want to be at that top position so you have a better chance in seeding.
This is so imperative too. Granted, Good 8 squad already qualifying. It's just a matter of maintaining that seed position, that first seed position, right? As you had just mentioned. How do you feel about, like, I guess going forward, if Pugera decides to switch up, like if he does take that L, like if he had to pick someone else other than Jury, who do you think would be on the docket?
I don't want to say Sagat because I feel like, as you mentioned, I feel like the Shoto matchups aren't always the best for him. Like right now, I'd have to say the Bison. I don't think DJ would be well enough right now. I don't think that DJ, I've seen him at all run that character, so definitely don't do that. No. If it has to be something, it has to be the Bison. Like, please don't pull that DJ. That's like, we're Cammy only. But we'll see if we have to get there. I mean, that Jury, even in bad matchups, has been working wonders. See if we can do so right now. Mochi Very studious with the game right now on the streets. Killing the drive gauge.
Very tempted to even try to whiff punish that crouching medium punch on the side of a field, man. That normal is the bane of a lot of players' existence. Damn, son! What just happened? You went for Adamant Flame, delayed the Fierce, and caught a counter hit against Pugera? Huh?
Spacing, again, big with these buttons. I think more than other Akuma players, he loves 4 Fierce and staying Fierce, killing the drive gauge, having the proper spacing to be able to catch some of these buttons, get the counter hits off. And the fireballs to back it all up, too. We walk forward with confidence, the crouching medium punch able to hit. It's a burnout, though. Back throw.
Ooh,
what an option!
Down. You know, that catches a lot of people more often than not. You know what's crazy too? Like even if Jury happened to land and Pugera wasn't ready with a GP, you still have to face off against the potential frame trap, right? Or even like another set of normals to worry about. Because if he does land with a chop, standing medium punch afterwards, it's like, dude, how many plus frames does this guy have?
Too many. Side point though. Right, the interruption with the crouching medium punch has been a speed bump against Drive Rush. It's a perfect running right back with the quickness. Garo out of order utilized. We're gonna stand medium, harassing the drive gauge. Good objective for Mochi. Trying to find a way to play those bigger buttons as we mentioned before. Crouching right kick, but too far from the crouching medium punch.
Too far out.
Yeah.
That's right. What do you do about this though? Right? They're still trying to play imagination, still within the range. I like that too! Mochi, he was standing his ground, he was just sitting still. Pugera was probably anticipating him moving forward into the Renko kick. But Mochi, again, standing his ground, doing a really excellent job of putting in a very much slower pace in comparison to the first round.
All these games have been on the slower pace side of things. It's really great to see. This Mochi, the big advantage right now, and a lot of drop gates to utilize. Well, at least enough DRC to kill the level 3 right now. They're gonna run that and put him in the burnout position. However, remember that level 3 at the bottom. We need level 2 as reversal. Throw, drive rush, delayed the medium, but right on time. He throwing bows in the corner. Pugera.
That's tricky. That is definitely tricky. I think Mochi was caught standing, perhaps. Although, I did not see a counter hit on the side of Mochi, if I'm not mistaken.
And raw, I think. That's hella plus. Frame setup right there. Snap kick coming more into play now. Not just finger buttons, the space trap. That's what I'm talking about. Head shake for Pugera.
Hand is not approved. Oh my god, excuse me. Forward throw now. What a time to press the crouch jab! Again! Mochi! He's catching the delay timings or the heavier buttons or both against Pugera. Back-to-back instances of a delayed crouch jab? How?
We saw something similar with Shoot though. We're seeing it here. It's not just the mirror match. I feel like he's so good about trying to charge with the fireball right there, drive rush meeting with a stop and stop that. In with the buzz rings. I got those too. A bit of green behind it to stick to you. Crouching you to kick to catch the walk back though. It's a side switch. Oh, that's meaty enough. Word. Got some setups to make that plus. Oh, caught him. 2 on the arm for flinching.
Knocking on the door. Throws are gonna be doing a lot of the work against Pugera right now. So reluctant to even try and tech.
Stand to just flip out. There, this has some more to work with. Really spin it now. Go for it. Oh, it's gotta be CA. Whatever it takes to stay in the game makes sense. I get it. The bar at the bottom promotion can see through. He's for the level 2 in between any strings or DP. Kill this man dead where he stands. Put him around the board. However, the resources kind of does suck. Right.
That's something Pugera is going to be settled with? Is it going to be totally fine for him? We're going to find out. 0 bars, Mochi's still fully loaded. Could be a little bit problematic. Dude, my man has not stopped pressing buttons after blocks, after plus frames. And to be fair, I think that's more so Pugera's fault than really Mochi.
Yeah. The dry rush. Just a follow-up and gets it confirmed. You are devious for that. Throw is not enough. One more touch. Weak DP for the bust out. One more hit. The jump back heavy kick. The space control is everything. Using a lingering long button to catch that dive kick. What a call out, Mochi. Oh my God, take it to the limit with Pugera.
Wild. Actually wild.
Bros, it's time. Medium. Something. Perfect parry. You thought it was your turn. It's never your turn. Resets with the back throw. I don't mind this.
I'll be aggressive. Mochi did catch Pugera trying to move out of the way. Oh, can't take another trade like that for the side of Mochi. Uh-oh. Can you use Drive Impact and the Instincts against Mochi, by the way? I wouldn't mind seeing it. And not even gonna try to risk it. I like that. Pugera standing his ground, getting the low medium kick at the very end. Match point.
Cash Sam Fierce. Looking for right after though. Oh, there we go. That's what we're looking for. The DRC. Should we stock up? Stock up again. Extensions. Almost on the deck. Oh. Try to play a butt right after. Flame. Tick throw.
Oh. Out of there too. No potential back throw for the side of Pugera. Mochi very cognizant of when that side switch is potentially coming in from the side of Pugera. Very important to note, but now the corner control coming in from Akuma. We get back-to-back throws. Can we get a third? Dude, Pugera has eaten so many of these throws in the previous game as well. And that actually killed. Pugera is just so stubborn.
Try rush overhead to start things off. Just to get special. Stocks up again with the Fuhajin. Looks at the low though. This time delays the crouching kick. So trying to put the pressure on. He's right back in with the mediums. The level 3, of course we can kill the drop gauge. The closer to the character, at least get close to doing so. It's a huge lead, has him up in the corner. And Trey can get so aggressive and so active. Already have a fireball to your name. Gonna walk back, walks up reversal delay buttons we've seen so continuously. Trade in your favor.
Oh my God. Kind of dangerous territory for the side of Mochi. Pugera has a ton of life to work with, although Mochi is pretty much a loaded cannon. But he dashes, thinking he can follow the fireball up. Pugera jumping right over it. Probably caught the recovery, or like mid-dash. That is mad unfortunate for Mochi.
Man, big stuff from Pugera though. Especially the delay timing that was going on from the side of Mochi that had been so problematic previously, and blowing that up at the very end, very good stuff. And also getting the big leads with these supers. You know, usually you see stream players go for like level 1, and they take the corner position after that. But a lot of level 3s to get that lead up, kill the drive cage, try to kill the character, and catch the times that Mochi was going for, switching up his own timing too as well. You see right there, drive rush medium. There was no counter hit, so he just got backdashing or something. I'm not sure, but really got. And a lot of reversals that did work out. A lot of those are working out, like the space traps and things like that. But again, Pugera just better off in understanding what to do on the delay timings, and also caught a few backdashes here and there when he tried to back up to that effective range that we talked about that Mochi likes to play at.
Oh, that was just unfortunate too. Just the way it ended. But 20 points for the side of Good Aid Squad. And funny enough, like KB can bring it back, right? KB is still currently undefeated. Boy, is that a wild statement. Funny enough, I don't want to see Gachikun in this position. I actually want to see someone else take over. I wonder if Kawano's going to be up to par with using that Akuma against KB's mod.
if there's any other lab rat that can contest against someone like JP, it's got to be Kawano. I feel like if he has enough time to study somebody, he's similar to Daigo. I mean, he's based a lot of his life around Daigo. You saw at the very beginning, like Daigo inspired him. But his Gachikun coming up? You know,
damn, right. The honest hero. He's coming to save the day. He's looking for a big 40 bomb. Can Gachikun do what others could not thus far? Look at that record, son. 120 points. 8 weeks of bus ass straight from K capital B.
It's all business, man. All business, no class. This man, KB, is a real mind player. I've said this so many times. If you want to watch someone that really cares about the character, that wants to understand the nuances, you watch KB. He understands matchup nuances to an absolute T. You saw him blow up the wake up level 1 fireball, the anti-fireball against the god. Was it necessary? Probably not, but he did it because he knows how to operate this character, pilot this character. There's so many different looks. I feel like he has all the points everywhere. He knows how to drive rush jab to start things off. He knows when to go in with the OD fan stuff, just letting that rip as like a very baseline thing. He knows how to use the drive rush to get outside of danger, which is not really a my thing, but it's more of just an awareness thing. He's really put a lot of work into making sure that he is a real my player. Even if she had gotten cut down in terms of like her power level, I still feel like as long as he's within the range to be able to play like the way she wants to play, he would still play her. Like I feel like he would not quit playing this character. But if there's anyone that's going to be able to weather the storm, I'd like to see it be Gachikun in terms of not getting opened up so continuously. And I would hope that he did his own homework to deal with this cat. But I would like to see Kawano, though. If I'm being so real, I feel like Kawano would have better choice, character-wise, player-wise. Kawano's proven himself in matches where he's like, if I get the study on you, you're through. It's over.
That's a tough call. But in case, in the case of maybe like a tiebreaker, I think either Gachikun or Kawano would have been suitable for Otani's Ken either way. But I am rather curious to see like what Gachikun is going to be doing against specifically KB's mom.
Every time, KB says we're qualified for the playoffs, but if I lose, we'll probably lose the first place. Be hard to go to the finals, the grand finals. So do my best to win. So he doesn't want to be a lackey out here. He wants to make sure that he is solidified. But this could be hard. You know, KB has been, I keep saying this every week and I'm proven wrong because he's been so picture perfect. There's a target on his back. He's been so good. For other players, that's been a problem. They're like, oh, we got to study this guy and figure out how to beat him. Even Lashar has lost, right? But KB, apparently can study him and it doesn't matter. Like he brings something new. He's just so damn good, and it's not just mine. Because other minds are losing. Like most of the points have been gained in terms of like earned for his team have been him, and even in the league, it's him. So it's not just the mind that's doing the work.
I think it's the mind doing the work. I'm totally kidding. I think KB's doing a fantastic job of like, I think like his approach is much harder to keep up with. I think he plays at a much faster pace in comparison to the other Mai's here. I'll be rather honest. Like I do agree with you. I think it's not even just the Mai. I genuinely believe that KB has done a great job of like finding his style of play with his character.
The matchup now too, like he interrupted right there. The Arabian Cyclone. He's gonna get back though. Oh, snap time. EVP for the bust out.
On the approach now is KD. Again, really not too many big deterrents coming in from like Gachikun outside of the fireball and throwing out some of the medium kicks. But yeah, KB still willing to spend a lot of that cash pretty early on to like either bust out with defense, initiate on offense. This is like the prime positioning now for Gachikun, right? KB pretty much low on drive gauge, can't go into big conversions off of single hits because he will put himself in a burnout, but he can't take advantage of that state.
Imagine trying to anti-air as Rashid. Another big jump in, sorry for stand fierce. It's gonna be the win. Oh my God, the pressure right after. And understand the race where he can get that jump, even if it is hard for Rashid to always get the anti-air off, is again, KB understands these matchups that allows him to do the things that Mai wants to do even easier. Empty throw against a fireball, it's a back throw, reversal jab on the wake up though. Oki time level 2, my win condition.
I kick it. Anti-jump low. We got the Arabian Sky High. We got the enhancement off of the Whirlwind too. The low medium kick. That was a counter hit as well. The timing of it all. KB finding himself a really, really high damage, or at least pretty decent way out of the corner.
Here's to the fan. Oh, just a little slightly on the crouching medium kick. The turn is over, but he finds the opening regardless, and that's going to secure the win. Oh no, never mind, not. One more hit, there's the jab. Forgive me, but it was already over. KB in the hands of Mr. Business himself, delivering you know what.
That's actually kind of wild, man. It felt like Gachikun was in control so many times in that set. And KB just comes back with an explosive rebuttal.
Man, Gachikun had said, like, hey man, he's undefeated. Because he's undefeated, I'm so excited to play him. He doesn't feel like you're able to access the damage that you were looking for up in the corner like you'd like to with Rashid. In those interactions to get to that point, you're losing so much health because he's jumping again. He's avoiding things. He's doing delay crouching medium kick after minus frames. He's catching you walking back. We saw that as a defensive tactic for the corner. It's the studiousness to understand what your opponent wants to do, what the character is capable of doing, and how to counter or minimize things, and then utilize a strong character altogether. And also meld with that character too as well. If he didn't meld with mine, this would not be happening. Like, he'd be getting bodied. As we've seen his other minds have been getting bodied, but not KB. It's different.
He's been making a lot of the correct decisions, like against the entirety of Division S. I still haven't been able to put my hands on, or at least hands on mine in regards to like going for the replays and trying to like figure out what the other person needs to do. I haven't really had the time to like fully dissect what it is about KB that is like so difficult to contest against.
I asked him, I went to a stream, I was like, man, why are you so different? He's just like, I study a lot. I'm like, okay, that doesn't answer my question. I need more information. Brother, the backstep, the low, gets the driver's conversion. I guess. Maybe we all need to study more, I guess. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, probably. You know, like I would say that's a susceptible or perfectly acceptable answer. I'm like, all right, you got it.
Study harder.
Oh my god. Now what can Gachikun do to keep KB contained off of this, right? Like back pretty much towards the corner if you can enforce it. That was actually kind of a sick delay. Drive rush all the way through into the throw. Really, really difficult.
So here, yes sir, level 1. Necessary. But even before that, you saw perfect parry, a light mixer. So I can advance right after the fan was about to land. Things like that definitely route in his favor, and then kind of drive from there. All it takes is KB to understand maybe the timing of the fireballs, maybe find that low forward again. Drive rush hits the brakes. Jump back. Now for the OD, that's what I'm talking about. You're not throwing out OD just to round start. So I'm jump back, goes to the fireball. Gachikun's so adept at throwing those fireballs as like a neutral tool. KB's working around that. The knockdown here, level 2. Push him. Kick push goes.
I like it.
I'm gonna hold on to the enhancement. There it is.
That's not bad. I was about to say that's not bad potential damage taken away from Gachikun, and as soon as I say that, we do get the big opener. The 1 frame link on the way through as well. Trying to go for an empty jump low. More than enough damage coming in. Yeah, that combo wasn't even close to over. You saw the SRK behind it. Gachikun bringing back the game against KB. And I came back midway through. My internet cut out, and I was like, oh, damn. The Whirlwind's here now? Surprise, surprise.
Of course. Always be there for Gachikun. I do like the fact that he's been able to get more access to damage in the corner. I know that sounds very grazing, but like you need that as Rashid. You're not going to get damage access like that mid-screen. You got to flip it towards the corner and work from there. Drive reversal, delete the drive gauge, so it's less you have to worry about against Herb or OD fans when they do come through with the drive rush activations. Fierce to hit, toss him. Dash a fireball. Blocked out from KB though. Ready with the anti-airs.
He really has been, right? Like he's been so attentive to both the ground game and the air game that a lot of players present, and he's always found like pretty decent answers or rebuttals. Like, every single time, like his uppercut game is very, very strong. His spacing towards the fireball to force these jumps have been really good. His activation into level 1, he reaches that more often than not in comparison to most players. He's been really, really strong with his mind. What a call out! Jump back roundhouse.
he know? How does he know? It's fan trying to get the air-to-air right there. They're doing. What a punish. I don't know why he was swinging. Maybe just anticipation. We saw previously he couldn't check the drivers with the jab, so he tried to play a bigger button, so the timing wasn't there. KB different with it. He diffy. Round up.
I like that. Dude, that was a lot of, actually not too much meter taking from Gotchgoon, excuse me. Ooh, the perfect parry. Following through against the fans as well, getting the conversion. But this is everything for Gotchgoon, right? This corner positioning and also that meaty overhead to get another big opener on KB. Perhaps we have found a weakness. Who knows?
The overhead's out. Throw himself in the corner. Dash up. Going for that throw again. No seconds here. OD fan against the enhancement, stopping that from happening. Air to air. Side switch as well. Whip punish against the crouch meter punch. He tried to initiate. Gotchgoon set it away. Throw one more touch will do it. The dash will throw again to get the win. That's harder to do this season. Game to game, round to round. They're going pound for pound right now. There's bar at the bottom here for Gotchgoon to utilize. Round start level 2. Let's it rip.
I like that. I like that a lot. Force KB to sit back and chill for a little bit. Also within range to kick it again. This is what I like to see. That early level 2 got KB to the corner so quickly.
Don't have that room to roam, but however the tracing left out with that. It's okay after this. He goes for the fan instead. Again, most wise to press the issue. He takes his turn with the ODDP. Oh, my man's buffering. Finds a jump in. He's got level 3. I already see that. Level 1. He's level 3 with the kill. Put the pressure up in the corner. You can't do that. No, no, no. KB.
There's no way, dude. This guy has been like solo carrying Nagoya NTPOJA. Can he do it again against the captain of Good 8 Squad? The championship team, by the way. The returning champs.
Whatever team KB is on, I want to be on. We're kind of strong right now. We get the counter hit, the knockdown again. It's like this is where the most has happened. Not even just in terms of damage, but opening up KB continuously. Yeah, nice stoppage with the ODDP. Kind of expensive, but you know what? Whatever it takes to put him up in the corner. Heavy mixer working out for the anti-air right there. Working up for the spacing. He gets the back throw, though. Oh, I should have committed. We should have put a ring on it.
I like that rebuttal. Gotchgoon much more confident in the start of game number 4.
Defense so far. A lot of bar utilized from KB. Less resources, less to worry about. Drive rush, no throw. Gonna go for it right after though. KB able to tech. Try to find the spacing to at least get a jump in. There's an OD. There's a jump. Have to do it from Gotchgoon. Enhancement and then nothing. Ah, my man hit the brakes, hit the fireball right after.
Damn! Oh, a fat conversion from what, 3/4 of the screen, nearly full screen, and KB still finds a way to manage a big opener against Gotchgoon into level 1. He held the parry. He played.
No.
Oh my god, dude! KB has the answers, brother. I lied. I lied to you.
Answer invalid. He challenges right after. You challenge after an overhead of a drive rush. Level 2 coming through. KB, set point. We're going to claim another legendary head for the mantle.
No way, dude. This guy really do play. Okay, actually the big interruption against the overhead. Gotchgoon not even trying to get himself into that mix. I like that. Risk averse. Uh-oh. Are you kidding me? This guy's sick. This guy KB's nuts,
How?
dude.
Like, how? In the corner, so that's the enhancement though. Don't worry about all that. Get back row. Trade. Not too bad for Gotchgoon just yet. Use the fireballs to fake things out, catch buttons every so often. Cover his approach. Gets the counter on the crouching medium kick. Light mixer. Go for the throw. You try to go for it. KB, he techs. Goes back with another level 1.
like that. You get the spacing trap, also catching KB, trying to move on in airborne. And it's so scary, dude. Like, Gachikun's still trying to encroach against KB's space within the range of low medium kick.
Have to spin a little bit more bar. Jesus. The air right there. Slide to the fireball. How did you find that timing, Gachikun? Oh. First base to fourth base. Gachikun about to take it to marriage. It's the final game. Will KB fall?
What did you just say?
Will this be the day?
Wait, first base to what?
Like, to fourth base, baby. He there. Gachikun.
It's home plate, brother. It's home plate, brother. What do you mean?
I don't know baseball, man. I'm not a sports fan. I'm saying in these streets. Anyway. It's too early. They're not 4, you're right.
That's the American pastime, brother. We're doing the English restream from the US. What do you mean?
I never seen a Cubs game either. Yeah.
That's fine. That you're not missing much on, so that's fine.
Okay. Anyway,
Dear
gotcha.
Lord. I gotta clip that later. Hey, chat, clip that. Do me a favor, chat. Go ahead and clip that one. That one's going to the archives of the internet. I can't believe it though, man. Like, I think outside of the hype itself, it's like, how did you find the time to snipe out that projectile, to get the dash up long enough to turn it into the run and slide past it and get the full-on punish from that far away? That is mad difficult. Prediction
and reaction together in such a tense moment where you're about to die if you're wrong. And again, someone like KB, whose spacing has been pretty damn good. I will say though, I think what's helping out Gachikun just in general in terms of like his access points and where he's able to calm things down just a little bit, it's like his fireball game has been a little bit diffy. We see OD fireball, we see dry brush fireball, we see different timings. Some of them getting jumped in on every so often, but less and less now as we see more variants of what he's doing. The establishment has been something Gachikun's been doing with Rashid since the character has dropped. I mean, I feel like he's been always about walk up fireball as like his neutral and normal tool to kind of establish his footsies. But even though it's been stuffed a few times, he's found more ways to play around that and kind of calm KB down. However, had he made a mistake there, it would have been over. That would have been it.
I agree.
But now we see a final game, but this is it. Like, god dang. Oh my
there was such a small margin of error on that play. Like, just based off of the spacing and the timing alone, there was such a small error, or small margin of error. And Gachikun still managed to secure it. That's crazy, son.
And the momentum. 3 throws.
And he went for another one. You madman. Honest hero, huh? This is your god?
Oh, the crouching mini punch with a stand jab right after. Level 1. But you want to see a lot more of this. Level 1, the pressure up in the corner. The jump back, but no conversion right after that. So you got a lot to work with in the tank.
Oh. It's so crazy that like how the round started for the side of Gachikun, and now it's like pretty much like equal. KB with a slight life lead. Him bringing it all the way back is just so impressive. You get the frame trap now, level 2. This is huge. Gachikun actually on 1 bar. By the way, a drive gauge. Ooh, counter hit! Oh, very fortuitous. So the timing, Gachikun now looking on match point.
Nothing else about that level 2 or the way he's playing right now. Active, aggressive. Sort of like volume right now. Gachikun getting the counter conversion. That 4-meter push right after. Charge up fireball to lock him down. Reversal jab though. Is it true? Oh, he hit the brakes and got the low right after. Oh my god, the openings as KB continues off the drive rush conversions. He's getting more active too as well. Maybe Cyclone for a tap parry, back throw instead. Perfect parry, the punish right after. Show me some. Level 1, Kagero no Mai.
What, you were just able to press standing jab like that, Gachikun? You caught the timing against KB?
It's level 2 again.
No way, dude.
Yeah, to be honest, the stand here finds a confirmed, and the first loss will be on KB. Gachaku, the honest hero, able to take it for his team. You know what that means? 40 bomber.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Gachaku bringing the big L against KB. I actually cannot believe it. I really cannot believe it went down that way. And I'm sure KB's really feeling it. Sahara, above the waist, please. Gachaku, being able to solidify it, excellent call.
Oh my God. I did not believe Gachaku had it in him to take this sort of match. I thought Kumamoto would be better suited, but you proved me wrong, honest hero. You proved me wrong. I mean, he's very studious. We see him studying a lot on his stream. Like, he really doesn't really play ranked. He grinds up the matchups. But for him to interrupt so continuously, understand KB's timings, use his fireballs the way that he wants to, and switch up with like OD fireball. Also, put KB on the back foot so much that we didn't see like a lot of drive gauge being utilized, because a lot of it was usually in the orange, and also level 1 being halted where it wasn't that much of a problem up in the corner towards the end at the very least. Nothing short of immaculate, and great adaptations overall. Yo, Gachaku killing the god of Street Fighter League Japan. The first mark on KB's side leads to Good 8 Squad getting a 40 bomber over them.
That's right. I was looking at the replay that we had outside of the one we had just witnessed on stream, right? I'm going back to that moment where he actually was able to slide past the projectile and see if he had preemptively dashed up and managed to catch KB at a very lucky timing. And from what it looks like, yeah, I think he had preemptively dashed and was committed to the run, like right before KB decided to throw out the fan. So I think that was just very fortunate timing for the side of Gachaku to get that slide against Mai to secure himself that second game.
A brave win. I like that sort of like commitment, you know, in terms of I'm gonna go for this option. If I die, I die. You know what I'm saying? But I have to do this, or if he gets back his momentum, I'll probably die anyway. So that led to success. Yo, man, Gachaku, bro. I'm bugging. That is what? 260 points for them, leapfrogging over in NTPOJA, who gets no points to their name at all. They're already solidified for the playoffs. But again, you want to be in that top position, and that's going to be way more difficult at that point. I can't even do the math right now. It's way too early for me. We're going to start with the interview with Kumamoto, who sat on the bench, didn't need to play today. Would have been in the extra position had things gone how they usually go when they have to fight KB, but it didn't happen that time. I'm bugging over Gachaku, man. That is so close. As you mentioned previously, it's like he's been super hot, or he's been showing up a lot out here in League in general. But when he did today, he took down the demon of Street Fighter League. Crazy.
That is a different type of hero to step up to the plate. I am genuinely impressed overall by the way Gachaku performed, especially like him kind of not really showing up to play these last couple of weeks. Like literally benched himself last week. Week 7 went 0-2, but to come back and pretty much do not necessarily impossible, not necessarily unthinkable, but heavily weighted against him. KB was just looking like the god, as you had mentioned, the prime suspect for one of the GOATs of this season's Street Fighter League, with an untouchable record, to fall short against Gachaku. And that was 2 games straight. There were so many instances where it felt like KB was gonna take it, but there was just fortuitous moments from the movement of Gachaku that allowed him to progress and allowed him to get this big W and momentum into the final game. And 40 points to their squad, 260 points, most excellent. There is an opportunity here for Nagoya and NTPOJA. Right, they could score a perfect game, and Good 8 Squad could end up getting bombed out. That's the only real time that we can see Nagoya actually take over in the ranks again. But as it stands right now, I think it's a pretty comfortable lead for Good 8 Squad, all things considered. In week number 10, in the final weeks of it all, they have to face off against Victrix Favu Gaming. So I think they're comfortable with that. I think they're definitely okay with that, considering how they played off against that team last time, 30-10. I don't think they're going to be sweating too much. I really don't. And even so, like, all Good 8 Squad would need to possibly like keep themselves up in the running is 10 points. Yeah. So even if they lose a match, as long as they don't get blown out, I still think they could retain their favorable seeding into the playoffs.
What an amazing showing all the way through. I mean, even Pugera with the jury, which we'll talk about real soon in more depth, showing out the litany of characters, having the right pick for that, which I'm surprised that even worked out. We'll get to the interview right now. Kumamoto says the team was really strong, even in high-pressured moments. As a coach, I'm really happy with the commitment of the team puts in. Sahara said, I had a chance of going against KP. The first game was my game. Seiya came. So I played against Chun-Li. We nice to be able to win. When Gachikun was playing, he played so well. I was just a fan. You definitely looked like a fan out there. The way you were hugging him. But, you know, I wonder what would have happened if Sahara would have came up. You know, what would have happened if Sahara did come up for that entry position?
今回はギリギリ勝ちましたけど、もうやっぱりこれだけずっとストリートファイターやってるから、さすがにここだけは負けたくないんですけども、やっぱりめちゃくちゃすごい人だなと改めてリスペクトをさせられました。はい。
Yeah, to put it on a serious note, I don't think we would have found the same type of hype between like Sahara and KB. I think there would have been a lot more in favor towards KB in regards to like the offensive momentum, with how often he's found a way to sneak in a hit against Gachikun, land a knockdown, land a level 1, force the corner. I think that would have been much more difficult for Sahara to manage. I think if anybody who would have been the appropriate, actually no, the other people the other person that would have been appropriate for it, it could have been Kawato, right? Just based off of the toolkit that his character has. So, very, I think it was very lucky that Gachikun managed to get certain openings and certain big finishers against KB. And you can't take that away. I'm not necessarily taking it away from Gachikun, but that is like a factor sometimes. You know, there are some certain days where a player does get lucky. There are some certain days where a player just happens to outplay you in certain instances. Gachikun, very fortunate this week.
It's one of those things where I feel like luck. I mean, luck is always going to be a factor in fighting games. You cannot have a game where luck doesn't, at some level or some portion, come into play. But to ride with that luck, after you have that success, you find that confirm or whatever, and then have the momentum right after, takes a lot of work. That takes professional level of work. And he had great matchup balance as well. We saw the perfect parry into like the light mixer to punish and get the distance outside the fan follow-up. That stuff, the studiousness, with understanding KB's tendencies and things like that, and then running his game and figuring out how to run his game plan all together allowed him to get that W. So I think, even results aside, best case was to have him come up. Kawato maybe was capable of doing it with his character's toolkit, but this is one of the most defensive players in the business to understand and not break down in those moments. As you've mentioned so many times, Gachikun is like top 10 in the world. And we saw it here to not break down continuously when things were going bad for him when he got jumped in on. So able to find the anti-airs and not break down when those moments were happening. So, well deserved for Gachikun.
We are getting the summary from a lot of the translations coming in for the team. Obviously, very elated that they got a big 40 bomb against the #1 team of the league. They had so much ahead of them going into that final moment. I love that. I love that for Gachikun. I can't wait to visit his stream later. I'm sure he's going to go immediately into opening up Pokemon cards. I guarantee you. This guy's sick. Man! Good 8 squad. What a team, huh? What a team, ladies and gentlemen. 40 bomb to their name. They got themselves potential #1 seeding to go into the playoffs and an overall well-rounded group. Sahara, 2 games straight. Pugera getting 2-1 over Mochi. And Gachikun getting a big clutch moment against KB.
Wow. Champion level team. They've been out here for a long time. They've also been strong outside the league, and I think that also helps get that matchup knowledge to be ready for any sort of play that may be coming through. And again, KB having that bullet on his back, or at least the target on his back to lead to the bullet on his back, led to a little bit of success. And I think that study definitely worked out. Gachikun even said, I was really focused on playing KP and imagining the what-ifs as they were happening. So he's so happy that it all came to fruition in terms of getting that W. Big ups to Good 8 squad as they take a big W, a big lead, big leapfrog. NTPOJA, although looking very strong out here, KB or not, falling to the wayside. We'll see with the playoffs, but where they're going to land, we'll have to see at the very end of everything. We have a few more days of play out here for Street Fighter League in totality.
That's so crazy, man. I'm sure like the sentiment is also being passed through from like Aru and Hameko. I'm sure they're just like, man, KB only needed this week and next week to have an immaculate record in Street Fighter League, and that's something that's so unprecedented in comparison to how he performed last season. Like, His switch over to Mai also, man. Like, that is, it just felt like that was his character. It still feels like it's his character. What am I saying? Like this, he's just done such a good job of slaying every single person. And like, realistically, in his record, the only person that's made him like significantly bleed outside of the L is Shuto from last week. Unbelievable showing there from KB, right? Not going to be the end of it, though. We still have another week to play for both of these teams. It really depends on how they perform in that 10th and final week to see who secures that #1 spot. The fact that it's not even guaranteed #1 seeding yet just shows you how good of a season it is this time around. I am so excited to see it. But as it stands right now, we've only got one more matchup ahead of us. Not before we give a big shout out to the people involved in Street Fighter League Japan. Red Bull always delivering that energy every single broadcast for our guys at the table in Japan. Now coming in a bottle form in Japan. I will definitely try that out and report back if it tastes any different, if there's any more in there, honestly. I like the packaging, it looks pretty cool, but other than that, I'm sure it'll still taste the exact same, and sure as hell will give the exact same results. And I'm looking forward to it either way. But again, big shout outs to Red Bull. Oh, it's 330 million. Okay, a little bit more than the can. I like that.
Give some extra. You know, most places would try to, cut that off, put the air bubble right there. Not them. Also, y'all can find out and support your favorite teams, actually, right now, the new banners that are available. Title Holdings also has theirs, as well as the other teams, so you can support your teams by wearing their flag during your CFN adventures. Give you a little bit of boost and good luck, possibly. I might be looking to do the reject one, so you can get it in the game, as Gretchen is saying, too, as well. You see the dates right there when they're available. We'll pick those up when they are. I'll definitely be doing that when they drop. Yeah, I'll probably rock, I think, reject. My son is on that one, so I kind of have to do that. But y'all can do so, too, when they drop.
Damn, that's kind of cool. What is that? The campaign after the playoffs, perhaps? Yeah, it should be after the playoffs, right? Because 13th and 14th is when we're scheduled for that. But we'll double check the calendar either way. But what you should mark your calendars for, Capcom Cup 12, happening real soon. Next thing you know, I know we're like midway through November. You blink and it's already going to be March. Be sure to take advantage of the situations you have right now. Be able to plan responsibly. If you're able to get into Capcom Cup 12, if you're able to travel out to Japan, well worth it to view it in person.
100%. We were out there this year, and it was nothing short of amazing. Being able to be one of the most electric crowds. You think people might be, quiet or reserved compared to like the U.S. crowds? Oh heck no! They go as crazy as us, if not as much or more, especially when the league comes up. Their favorite teams and players too as well. So join that action. Come out there, get the best seats that you can. Again, responsibly. Don't go broke doing that. You can see more the information about League overall on the official website, which I've been using quite a bit to see the standings. Things get updated immediately. You also get like rundowns if you miss certain episodes. You can also find some pictures of your favorite players. I see the Stairmaster right there. I see other pictures of other players. I'm sure we're going to have more as we get into more of the action next year. Like, all the photos uploaded. On the stair down, oh, that's so godlike.
I don't like how Takedo's like flexing his trapezius muscles on that one. Like his shoulders are back a little bit, then he's hunched over. My man is trying to like squeeze the jersey. Dude, what a photo. My man was in his grill, by the way. The cameraman was like, I gotta get a close-up. Really sick to see, honestly. I want to check this out, actually. I want to see like how many different photos and how many different angles of like not only just the players, but the venue itself. Right, there have been so many impressive like crowd shots to go along with the players that like give you only, oh no, I remember that moment. Oh, that's rough. That was during last year's finals, brother. Yikes. Anyways, yeah, really a lot to take in terms of like the venue for like Capcom Cup 12 as well. So I hope you guys do find a way to make it out there. It's been such a mind-blowing experience, culture shock in regards to like how the fans treat Street Fighter 6 is entirely different.
The picture of VJ
oh my god!
there. You see Rob TV. This is The previous one, oh, little shock right there.
I have the shirt cannon. I had like the shirt cannon in my suit. That was wild. I gotta check that out. We're gonna be doing that within the break, but what I highly guarantee is gonna be this matchup gonna be a banger. Do not miss it as we conclude week 9 right after this break. Stay tuned.
21時36分頃予定しております。それまで一旦失礼いたします。
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.大カプコン展ついに東京で開催。
世界を魅了し続けるカプコン。ゲーム作りの裏側に迫る貴重な展覧会。新たなグッズも登場。詳しくは公式サイトで。
まだ画面端が近いのは高木のブランカ。
知らない知らない。トロ相手がうまい。トロ相手がうまい。
オーディスクラッチ。ジャンプ。
でかすぎる。
人形設置。
そういう聖地ぶっ放してもこう人形がある。
惜しい今の。おお。ナイ
最強の矛。その前に来る。抜ける。よく抜けた。
マジか。
対空無敵はあるんです。
で人形が来た。からの画面端。
おあこれかなり。
すくと出るんだこれ。
差し返しを狙っているが
いや当たり。
からの追撃。勝負投げ剣ない。
おー
でもこれ10点取ったら美味しいよな。
できます。まあ頑張ります。
いやプレッシャーを与えてるわけではないから。
さあこれで模型はもう投げ圏内を作っている。
はいはいはい。
偉い。
後ろかられたやつね。いっぱい狩られてよかった。
オーディテンション分からなくなった模型のドライバース。
オッケー。あこれ繋がんないの。繋がんないのあれ。
さあしかしバックジャンプでしっかり。
お偉い。偉い。ナイスって偉い。
またもやこのバイパン戦。
いいよでかい。もうゲージもいい感じ。オッケーオッケーもう。
はい。
めちゃくちゃ。
はいもう何でも
もう暴れれない。
はい何でもいいよ。はい。
ナイスナイスナイス。
はいもう一回。はいあ
バカ
そこいや遠い。
いい。
怖いんだけど。
怖い。ナイスナイス。
怖いな最後。
いやごめん。緊張しちゃった。そういうとこやぞほんま。
さあここからはチーム松杉
As we get ready for the marquee matchup, it is going to be a very important one between Victrix Fable Gaming and Crazy Raccoon to ensure who makes it at least within the third place ranking a week before that final game 10. Going right into it, Victrix Fable Gaming coming in hot first with the cold hard math, all calculated by Ryukichi. Of course, we saw one hero earlier. We got another one. The hero of Sunrise, Moke. Followed by the Gravemaker. Gonna put you 6 feet under, hopefully, with the Sea Viper pick. I'm really expecting it. It's Fujimura. And then, of course, my man Sakonoko. So impressive by the way he's been playing thus far, and even from last week when he got that W. Still the strongest spear with that Elena. Took down Takagi with that 3-1 victory last week, looking still sharp. I'm actually kind of curious to see if he's going to be playing again this week on the away side.
Oh my god, bro, the face. You have to stop. And Crazy Raccoon might be stopping that smile real soon out here. They're looking really good. They're in the home position. That 40 bomb, things might be looking really dicey for a lot of teams, not just Victrix Fable Gaming. And they have been something ridiculous with their switch up to their characters. having good rotation for the likes of Fontaine, having a new character for the likes of Kazunoko. Let's take a closer, further look at Crazy Raccoon. Let's get it started. The craziest ones in the business, the judge, the jury, the executioner, Papa Bunchin out here with the Sagat scene with a got, but also seeing him practice at Akuma and get that ready. Going with that Goki has definitely helped out. Backed up by the one that loves, beloved by all fighting games, loves all fighting games, and is scared by many people. It's Kazunoko, the Sea Viper, the Asura that will kiss the fist, and Shuto, more so on the Ryu than the Akuma these days. Seeing him switch over to the sort of style of Shoto. And after that, it's going to be the Devil Strategist, the one that made the right pact with the Wind Devil, is Dogura on the Elena, and maybe Bison if need be, but mostly about the Elena pick. This team is super stacked, and the switch up to the characters have been nothing short of important for them. They've been showcasing what they're able to do, and they're doing some damage out here. And once again, if they get that 40 bomb, spell the end for a lot of teams. The beginning of their march at the playoffs.
I'm actually kind of curious to see how this is going to really play out, right? The difference between third and fourth position is 40 points, right? Crazy Raccoon 180 points, Victrix Favu Gaming at 140. Even if Victrix Favu Gaming scores a perfect record, there's still one more week to play, but let's establish this order. All right, great. Sea Viper is on the menu again from the side of Fujimura. Moke to follow suit behind with that Chun-Li, and to end it off, Ryukichi with that Mai, a pretty strong order in my opinion. What are your thoughts, Kola?
He's pretty strong. I like Ryukichi where he's at. He's probably been the best player on this team thus far. He's had so much practice online and offline. I would put him there in terms of like the most powerful person in the anchor position against as many fights as possible. However, I like Fujimura switching over to the Sea Viper. I've been seeing some of CFN practice here and there, and I feel like it's good to have him switch over to something like this over Mai, where you guys have had as big of a handle. But then you got to fight someone like Shuto coming up, who has had some of the quickest adjustments to a character, quickest adjustments to a Ryu of all things. I'm going to try off the Akuma. This might be kind of dicey. And again, I'll go to your expertise because you've been playing a lot more Sea Viper than me. How do you feel about fighting a character like Ryu with the projectiles, with his damage that you can put out? What do you think about this matchup?
Oh, I love it. I think Sea Viper could go band for band in terms of the damage output. I like the ranges that Sea Viper can play at. I think she can outreach Ryu in a lot of instances. And also the approach against the fireball can be nullified, right? Like you could trade off with the Seismo. I think the damage is going to be just fine. If you catch the start of it and the fireball happens to be a jab one, you get the super jump cancel, follow through with the burn kick, etc. Even so, like, if you're not even trying to trade off like that, I think Sea Viper being able to navigate around fireballs via the air approach and the grounded approach is pretty good. I mean, one's a little bit riskier. Light Thunder Knuckle is able to go under fireballs if you predict it correctly. If it's a punish counter, you get a full-on conversion off of that. I think it leaves her at a pretty good distance to get a distance. Actually, enough plus for him to get maybe a crouching medium punch. It depends on like where she hits you. But most importantly too, we see a lot of Shotos set up their fireballs in a way where it's like spaced out really well to anti-air with like a normal, anti-air with like a DP, very typical. Sea Viper can disrupt that by interrupting her own trajectory by doing like a jump into like a light burn kick just to reset the timing and not really be much at risk unless like, even if Ryu decides to drive rush forward, if they're not able to like react to the burn kick, they could get smoked at the cost of the bar. But yeah, I really enjoy the damage output that Sea Viper gets, can be just as dastardly. I like the burnout sequences that Sea Viper does get. She can mix it up between doing a string into medium Thunder Knuckle to leader plus. She can even do burn kicks to leader +2 and also point blank. I like it. The only difference, the only outlier, as it's something that's always going to be highlighted every time, is the lack of defense from Sea Viper outside of having super. That's about it. Everything else, band for band, I like Sea Viper a lot more in a lot of the Shoto matchups, and I think we might see that development here with Fujimura.
But there's a similar thing with like Bison. Like, yeah, if I get knocked down, it sucks. But if I'm going aggressive, I have many ways to play around the fireballs. I have many ways to get in and get my aggression started. My doubling of damage is comparable, if not sometimes more, depending on if I have the bomb as Bison. So I can see that similar with Sea Viper. Viper. So it'll be definitely a test of defense, and then what Shuto wants to do to get those knockdowns. If he's going to risk it for like a donkey kick, try to get a knockdown, whatever it may be. Like what his entry points are is going to be like a forward fierce, the typical starters. But I feel like having that crouch mini kick to outrange a forward fierce and a lot of things that he wants to do also can come into play as well. So the counter pokes are also good on her side of things. So in terms of Fujimura, his playstyle from what I've witnessed, the little bits I've seen, I think he's pretty conservative in terms of his drive gauge. So at the very least, he's going to go into burnout or close to on his own accord. It'll be up to Shuto to have to do that. Fujimura says, this order is such a surprise for us though. Not too confident, but not too desperate. I do like that. I'm not super confident on this, but I'm not feeling desperate in terms of like the battle.
I don't know what the desperation is from the side of Crazy Raccoon, right? Like maybe it's more so like Shuto has been the reserve for Anchor in a few of the instances, I guess, perhaps. Like Shuto's been, he's adapted to the Ryu quite well in comparison to like the rest of both Division F and Division S. So like maybe that's where the statement comes in, but I am kind of curious to see this just overall, like what Shuto has in mind in regards to like how much he's studied against C Viper, right? He has one of the better ones in the business too with Kazunoko. So I think there's going to be a lot of knowledge checks coming in from Fujimura, and then reinforcements coming in from the side of Kazunoko to check that confidently as Shuto.
See what happens here. Starts off with the fireball. That stand light kick was perfectly done to interrupt. Back to neutral. Try to check it again. Driver Shab blows it up this time. The overhead's more than fine. Buzzing from above. Going green once again. Get the stand medium. Pressing buttons, but you shouldn't. Oh no. This is all Shuto right now. First round. Foot on the gas, foot in the ass right now.
And Fujimura was laughing. He was like, "All right, I guess I'll stop messing around." Huh? I don't know what he was feeling in that instance, but he was definitely pained.
Wrap off too much though. Pitching depleted. The space he's at right now. OD fireball. Safe and solid. The DI you are. You might actually be dead. Level 2 to start things off. Charge up. Shin Hashokeki. Yeah. What am I saying? It's Ryu. Why would I even question protagonist damage? Pardon me.
God damn. You know, Fujimura got smoked. All that pregame analysis only for him to get smoked by Shuto? All right, fam. You got it.
Parry at least. Fears. Go box it out. Self out to get the light knuckle. The heavy knuckle follow up. Walk up those strong on in there. We're confident play here for Fujimura. Actually being able to play the game pressing buttons. Damn, and the gutty works. Overhead reset? You gotta be kidding me. Shuto's had enough.
I've seen that way too many times. Fujimura trying to buffer out a Thunder Knuckle, but had an input prior to that and wasn't ready for it. I think it was a little bit of an but that happens a lot. Super 2 comes out if you're trying to anti-air Thunder Knuckle a little bit too much on the motion, trying to buffer it a little bit too much. Really unfortunate. Oh!
This is DP. Crushing light kick. Immediate level 3. I like this. Kill that drop gauge. Close to kill the character. Big lead up 2 as well. Fireball right after this. We just drive rush up. Drive rush up. I'll do it myself. Trying to get tired of that. Perfectly fine to consent to block it out. Staggers a stand medium. Shuto. About to land one of the quickest game with the immediate fireball, of course. Meaty don't being an option right there. Shuto 2-0. This has to be one of the quickest matches we've ever had in the league.
Fujimura, what are you doing, man? Let me talk to you real quick. Come here real quick. Come here. What are you doing? I'm about to hit you. I'm about to hit you with the Jordan the Stallion. I'm gonna take my glasses off, throw them on the desk, and be like, "Come here, real quick. You know this character C Viper can do more than that, right? Like, what are you doing?"
村側としては結構そのバイパーにどれだけ慣れてるのかっていうのをこう測る意味でもタッチキック、シャガムキックのハイジャン
It's beyond uncharacteristic. Like it just felt like he was not able to play the game at all, or do anything that you see C Viper doing besides like once or twice. And yeah, there's mistakes like this that happen. I get it. But the fact that he was not interacting at all in this matchup, wasn't looking for fireballs, it felt like instead of throwing things out to the win, my man was getting dumped completely. This is just. You should have picked up mine. You should have went back to mine. First game, bro.
You should have picked up mine. Yeah, I agree. That's the first time I ever seen C Viper take that much of a bus ass in the Shoto matchup. Honestly, like we've seen the potential coming in from like the Chengdu majors when we saw Punk against Tokido really flex that character against the Shoto matchup. So I will definitely erase that from my memory, and I will take that off of the sample size. I will make sure that is the anomaly when it comes to that matchup specifically. Fujimura will be the outlier for the C Viper Shoto match. Duly noted.
Next Shoto.
Next Shoto.
Kick it over. Yo, just flip a different one in here. It's gonna be Bonchep back in the Akuma. I feel like after his latest outing with Sagat, the next stream that he had, he was back to Akuma immediately. And you saw him, it's like you clock in, you know, you put your suit and tie on for business. Maybe it's not for fun anymore, but you're like, I gotta do it for work. That's the Akuma pick for him. It's gonna be better off, I feel like, than fighting Chun-Li, because Chun-Li I feel like does so well against Sagat, what I've seen. Akuma does so well. Akuma does well against Chun-Li, against the aerial approach, the grounded approach, so I like this pick. I'm sure it's not the most fun pick for him, but it's a pick he has to do.
Ain't that some stuff? Ain't that life right there? Bonchan just having to play off with the Akuma. I mean, what a guy. Like, he can't play Sagat, or like he chooses not to play Sagat, but instead he has to settle with... Let me check my notes. Hold on. He's one of the more dominant characters in the meta. Woo! Rough, man. Life is kind of hard sometimes. I get it, man. I get it.
It's so funny because, like, you know, you want to throw fireballs. Well, Kumo's got that in space. One of the best fireball throwers, if not the best in the business. Walk speed's great. Grounded play that he wants to play, Kumo's got it. You know, but to be blessed to have another character like that and have it up to this par, up to this level, is great for him. Even have to cycle out to business is what it is. But, you know, Moke's done well in matchups that aren't so good for him. Like back even in Season 2 when the Gao matchup wasn't that good for Chun-Li, he did fine there. In matchups like against JP, he had great tech for that. So I suspect he'll still be a problem. However, the last time they fought, though, it was Sagat that won. Bonchan won with Sagat.
Right.
But this time, I think Bonchan wants a cleaner win with the Akuma.
Perhaps. That's reasonable. I think that's totally reasonable, right? Like if you want to like try to change it up and also get like a more solidifying win, especially with the way Shuto pretty much manhandled Fujimura, took his own shovel against him and put him in his own grave. Kind of wild. It's weird, like seeing Bonchan alternate between like Sagat and Akuma. It's like he's wearing a pair of nice Crocs. He goes from like casual mode to sport mode, right? It's pretty much the same deal, in my opinion. Like Bonchan's still gonna be comfy no matter what.
I like Moke's interview here. He said, I remember Bonchan saying Sagat was his sole character, but he's using Akuma. Crazy Raccoon fans, I'm on your side. I'll get a Sagat out for you guys. I don't think if he loses, he's going to pull a Sagat. I think it's going to be a Akuma for this game, regardless, brother. Even with the new flaws infestation that's been happening in terms of what he's been doing with this character, I don't know if he's going to be switching over if he loses, so we'll see.
One can only hope, right? Like, honestly, I would love to see, like, Sagat in this matchup in particular. Funny enough, I think there was like a video that was released between Yipes and Justin during like EWC, and it was one of those instances where I felt like Yipes, like it felt like Yipes was getting drowned out by Chun-Li because of her walk speed and her normals, right? I feel like as the matchup developed, it didn't feel too bad for Sagat, right? I feel like his normals were able to kind of like push back Chun-Li in a pretty good way, and also from further distances where Chun-Li does want to throw out the fireball, I think like Tiger Neat could kind of go over that and punish. So I'm not too sure of like it being that difficult to manage anymore as like the matchup or the character developed, considering like the damage output. But either way, I think Akuma's still a solid pick against Shonen.
Swapping against any character. Part of the reason why is the aerial approach plus frames. You press a button. Not doing stuff you shouldn't. That's a meaty forward fierce. Counting the distance with the proper buttons on forward meaty kicking this forward fierce. Okay, trying to thread the needle. Cycle the whip punish right there.
Perfect parry, plenty of time. Off of the roundhouse Azanchu, smoke. Huh, he got the maybe standing medium punch, but no conversion off of that.
Good screen. Out of bar to use with the driver's crouch fears. Employs the bus frames. The throw. No, we backdash away. Snap your in the turn. Snap kick. We'd love to have a counter hit for a follow-up. Perfect parry, take the turn back. Keep playing a button right after that. Oh my god, y'all are stealing turns. Ushaisi is on. Right back at him with the ODDP. Moke steals it away. Round 2. Fight.
I wonder if those are ever like we'll get into that topic a little bit later. Bonchan already pushing Moke into the corner. Level 2, Empyrean's End. The hole right in the chest. And we get the pickup, of course, building up even more of that meter.
That little bit idea. The driver's throw. The tap parry attempt. That's the way it now. Low forward. Oh yeah, I like that. The side switch too as well. Base out the ODDP. Driver's back here, see how to get more of that off. So you can watch it right after. He's gonna block this out. Even better help. Parry was wary. Man got the bar up. All the bar necessary after drive rush cancels. And that bar at the bottom of DP. Fix a god. Fix a god. Fix a god. You look at it, but you know.
Fix a god, please. He's gonna go right into it, right? Yeah, it's the Akuma pick. Moke. He's letting the fans down, brother. He's letting them all down. But either way, I mean, he's still got a W on his chest against Bonchan. Something he can hold over Bonchan for a while if he manages to seal it out. But you see, already forcing the burnout. I like the sequence now, and I like the momentum for Bonchan.
There you go. Round 2. A little pressure. One more confirms to the burnout. So quick. Structuring now, aiming towards the drive gauge. Like jab, and Stamp Fierce is able to hit though. Oh, swift thrust, stop the drive rush. Soaring Eagle, frame kill, trying to go for the throw. Crossing up DP, can't leap for free without spinning some of your soul right there. Wake up, stand light kick, stopping that with the 5 frame. Back in the corner you go. Push up the low though. Kill.
Fireball's doing more of the talking now from Bonchan, by the way. Oh, exchange. Off of that trade, more so for Bonchan than it was for Moke. Trying to come in with a drive rush. Bonchan had blocked down initially, empty jump, nothing? Really?
First offensive style, but that's going to be baited out by Moke, or either way he's going to block it. Regardless, it's a punish. Reward himself on set point. Which is not too far off though. Defense is better. Close it out now. Interruption gets support, heavy kick, no throw necessary. Combo -4, the turn back with the low. Now finds the anti-air. Very rare for Chun-Li to be able to hit that continuously.
He was waiting for that forever, by the way, in Serenity Stand. Perfect parry against the stab. Way on in. Does get sniped out of the air with the dive kick, by the way. Moke. Pretty comfortable. Standing light kick to stop at the drive rush. Level 3 incoming.
Stampers into the adamant. Trying to kill that drive gauge. Oh, caught the demon flip. And the throw. Fireball to lock him down. Appropriate range support, medium punch or low. Walk up throw. There's so many things to worry about. EDP the bust out. It's not enough. It's still alive. The dive kick deleted and defeated. The DP was there. The entire Moke watching the skies. 2-0. You should have picked the king, says Moke.
too convincing, man. Moke was just way too prepared for that air approach as well. Like, one of the biggest things we kind of talk about is like how often Akuma can get around so many of like neutral with both the range that he has, the walk speed that he has, but more importantly, I feel like what does kind of get overlooked is the air approach for the Demon Raid. Moke was not phased by that one bit. Moke was definitely on beast mode, specifically for Bonchan.
The ranges where he was standing at to be able to get those anti-airs off, as you mentioned, he was waiting for that for days, and it worked out. Her DP did get better to deal with the demon flip stuff. It's not the most appropriate answer or continuous answer, but you still see it working out. Moke also locking him down up in the corner. Surprised they see a few drops here from Bonchan, but I think, again, like if you're switching back and forth to a good character or not, you still have to get informed with them, and I feel like a week's time wasn't enough, and the focus that Moke had to fight him also made a difference here as well. So, man, that drive rush DP was everything. 10 to 10, it comes down to this. Victrix Fabu Gaming could be taking down Crazy Raccoon. Ryukichi comes up. I personally want to see Dogra. Obviously, Fujimura's Mai is different, but the way he handled that Mai, the way he was cooking that Mai up, 3-0 last time, I want to see it again.
There's a possibility. I think I can see a realm of that happening. We'll find out.
Dogra's
Elena. I'm not gonna lie, I was leaning a little bit towards like Kazunoko, possibly playing out in the anchor match, like whether it be Cammy, or even Sea Viper if need be. But I like this pick a lot too. Dogra's Elena has been doing great work overall, although it's not the same in regards to like the output of points that he has in comparison to Ryukichi. They are tied with wins overall. I think Dogra has been phenomenal with the development of this character, and I think that's been pretty important to talk about. Genuinely, I think there's a lot to really discuss in regards to like the development of this character. I feel like not a lot of eyes or players are really focusing in on this character, and although it's slightly a shame, I understand it. I think she requires a lot of maintenance to do well with. But Dogra has been doing a fantastic job bringing this character to every single World Warrior and finding some pretty decent results as well.
It's crazy to think how people said that she wasn't playing Street Fighter 6 when she dropped, and for good reason. She doesn't have like a little forward, drivers confirmed. You know, she's not the same in terms of like the pressure, but her damage output is great. It's just the access is so difficult because you have to catch people standing. You have to sauce them up. The overheads first when that happens. And usually she's playing second. That was like the mentality of the thought process. Dogra is able to play first more often than not. He's been able to find more ways to play first with normals, confirms, you know, stand light kick, driver buffer right after. Now you see even people like Sako emulating that same sort of style and flipping the whole script on how to play her and being able to find success in that damage access, that corner carry that she has. But she's actually a fantastic character to run if you have the capabilities to play her like that in terms of maining her and working out the intricacies. You know, it takes a while, obviously, right? I think with a lot of DLC, we keep saying they're not strong right off the rip. Like, even people are saying Viper is not strong. But you start to see results when people spend more time with them and main them. Same with Elena.
Oh, yeah. Dude, the prime example is mine. Like, you can literally look up tweets, dig up tweets in December. You can dig up tweets in January, right before Capcom Cup. People dismissed the hell out of mine. And it was not even one of those things where it's like, oh, she got buffed and she was viable. Like, she got the Terry treatment. No, not even close. None of that even happened. Mine was just straight good. And people just didn't want to give her the time of day. Granted, it's fair to not do so, considering her timeline on release. Like, it was way too close for the big dance. Even a couple of players decided to kind of flex her a little bit on the main stage. So there was that potential, but either way you spin it, that just holds true for a lot of the DLC characters. I feel like a lot of players are just like dismissing a lot of these characters really quick. But it really is, it's dependent on the sample size of the character, or the player base for said character, right? If there aren't a lot of players willing to put the time and effort in on a character like Elena, you won't really know how she falls in the meta because there's not, like, she won't be developing as quick as another character. Right? That's just how it goes.
especially when it comes to like where those like results are gained at, right? Are they at like a offline tournament where there's more sample size, where it's more official, quote unquote, or like a bigger World Warrior where there's a lot more stacked fans or players? I'm sorry. Like for Dogra, he's found that with Elena, and maybe Sagat could be the same way depending on how League goes. But either way, you know, should watch Super League US. But regardless, I like that he stuck with his guns and found success. And in this matchup, we saw with Fujimura. Obviously, Fujimura is a different type of mind. I think he's more reserved than Ryukichi, so maybe played a different sort of way. However, you saw like back set, back heavy kick. You saw a lot of avoidance, a lot of squirreliness with this character that disallow the fans to get going and be outside the race where Mai would like to be effective and play at. Like he clearly understood the assignment, how to beat that character. Can he do so with Ryukichi? Obviously very different in terms of like play style, but at least he has the baseline down. In terms of the interviews though, Ryukichi says, I was expecting Dogra as soon as Shuto came in the first game. I gotta win to let our team have a chance. The other lower teams have a chance for the playoffs. I'm not fighting alone. The spirit bomb, the hands are up from the other lower teams. Ryukichi, not only for his team, but for other teams, has to stop. Crazy Raccoon and Dogra here and now.
Final match of the week between these two anchor spots. Again, all tied up, 10 apiece from both ends. We'll see how this goes. The overhead does find the mark temporarily. Well, actually, did it right when it hit. My bad. Either way, Ryukichi does have the corner positioning. Pretty important. Dogra is going to walk on out of there after the target combo. Ryukichi will let go of that space for his medium punch, allowing himself that time to get the extension.
Wow, that's Ryukichi. A lot of stopping points as well before Dogra it even gets started. More activity we saw from Fujimura when they played. Basically, so off to swap that away. The punish counter. That was sick. Okay, Blaz. Oh, the DP between. Match up dodge and takes the second against the throw. Drop kick. Scratch wheel. Damn, scratching up. Bait. No, got hit with the level 1.
Really coming to right now is Dogra. He's on the corner control that we were looking for. Had to bust out with the ODPP, understandable. Damn, son! You're just gonna spend it like that? You don't even want to save it for later? I like that. Live in the now. You know, spend that cash while you got it. I respect it, Dogra.
Can't take it with you to the grave. The match also is coming through from Dogra so far. This activity, ODPP. And also understand the tendencies of Ryukichi so far. The overhead neutral jumps to call that out. Kagero no Mai. The win condition on for the character. Even more so up in the corner. The drive cage Dogra. Try to hold parry. Keep that up. Slide, not applied. Punish instead. Oh. The heavy kick.
Give me that punish counter. What a whiff punish. Uh-oh. That could have been so dastardly, that could have been so damaging. That could have been the game for Ryukichi to really landed that jump. But it's still the counter hit off of the stand jab. The timing against Dogra. Level 2 is definitely going to secure the first game. I like that composure from Ryukichi.
I think I like that he's doing is like, if he's walking up with like a jab or like a fast button continuously. Again, I keep mentioning Fujimura because the last time that happened, I watched. But I didn't really see Fujimura doing a lot of that. He wasn't trying to like walk the word down with the button. He tried to walk it down, maybe delayed a little too much. You see a immediate button play from the side of Ryukichi. Trying for a stand fierce, taking towards the corner, the Oki, and that carry right there. Oh, target combo, die.
I get it, man. You're a Fujimura fan.
Lights. You know, that's my boy, but what happens, you know? What a wake up. Be out of there. Watch your light kick to find an opening point.
Another impressive round from Ryukichi. I feel like Dogra has not really had a grasp towards like how Ryukichi's been playing in terms of like the spacing he's been playing at and also the timing of buttons to catch Dogra off guard. Coming in from outside of like fan mix-ups, right? Then mixing in between the strike and the throw. The very, very potent Ryukichi. Very tough to nail down. Damn!
All DP as well, that 128 bar. He's being punished. Oh, he's gonna go for the overhead reset, that's fine. Another heap coming in with an overhead. It's an orator. Double DP scratch wheel. the chase down, but no punish on the recovery. That's why, though. It's a little bit ambiguous. I get it. Reset overhead. You're dead. I can do those too.
Damn. I love that cinematic.
Caught him black.
The way she doesn't even look at her opponent, like as she makes the stab with the fan, it's so dramatic. She doesn't even want to see the person's demise. The timeout is being taken from Dogura. Obviously, it's got to be happening. 2 games straight for the title Ryukichi, and either convincing in game number 2. I don't think we're going to force a switch from Dogura. I think he will stick it out with the Elena. It's just a matter of figuring out what to do against Ryukichi's spacing thus far.
Yeah, it's not a character pick. It's definitely like the timings that Ryukichi's employing, the jabs that he's walking up, like how do you fight the fans that are coming out too as well? You see normal fan coming through, then OD, as you mentioned, the charge up. There's so much presented in close and mid-range where it's hard for Dogura to get started or even walk away from the scenario. We saw last time a lot of like back walk, back heavy kick to catch buttons at ranges that would a stand medium would be played or a stand fierce. Those aren't really happening. Those aren't really happening because those buttons aren't even being presented. They don't have to be presented. Ryukichi is in continuously. One thing I will say though is Ryukichi is spinning quite a bit of bar. And I wonder if there's a realm or a way that Dogura can kind of harass the drive gauge a little bit more when that happens. But maybe Ryukichi might just get defensive when those things happen and get the bar back right after that. So I think that Ryukichi's using bar in the right way, but I wonder if there's a way that Dogura can work around that and steal that resource away to further employ more of that burnout pressure right after.
Man, Dogura is really trying to contemplate what he needs to do. He's taking it all in with the teammates as well. He's definitely trying to figure out the current pace of Ryukichi to kind of go back into it. I mean, we talked about like the usage of meter from a lot of the Mai's out here. We talked about like some of the potential mix-ups that she does have navigated by different players. It's been very difficult right now for Dogura, but like also I think the preventive measures that Ryukichi takes against Dogura's movement has been essential towards like the tipping point of some of the matches, right? Although Dogura had some like shining moments to kind of take the advantage and take the corner, I think there have been subtle jabs, like literally going in from Ryukichi that prevents Dogura from even moving forward, and I like that from Ryukichi. I like that those preventive measures.
Most people can't do that, but most people don't do that against Dogura. We're seeing it here from Ryukichi. Step way for him. That's just fumble game looking to take down crazy Raccoon. Charge up fan, perfect parry. Too far for the throw to happen. We'll get the punish. Had the reset. I'm surprised he had him standing. Walk up throw right after, tosses him right back into the corner. Yesterday's trash. And there's the anti-air, of course. Well spaced out.
Already. I like that call out. OD scratch wheel. Coming in for the side of Dogura. Looking a little bit dry to any single hit conversion. Dogura is not going to be able to drive rush cancel out of that. We do get a parry to salvage the rest of that. Rest of his bar, at least during the block string. He does get punished for it, and what a way to weave in the DI. Dogura not able to react with that level 1 regardless. Ryukichi looking at match point. Can we get the 3-0 straight? He's looking rather confident. Ryukichi is.
He's going to catch that crouch. He's going to kick though, take it towards the corner. Wake up ODP. None of these have been called out. Dogura has just been not been able to find the sense of timing against the defense or the offense. We'll get the back throw at least. For the anti-arts, wait for him to come down, get the overhead, a dash up throw right after. A lot of board his side of things, gonna initiate with a drive rush low. Keep the ender, nice little finesse at west side, little walk back, avoid the throw, and find the bomb, and find himself a round in some momentum. You see the sigh of relief, as bad as things were, a little bit better. Oh man, I want to see a fight, come on now.
My man was waiting to exhale on that one. He was waiting forever to release that breath. But I'll tell you what, man, Ryukichi, not gonna let go quietly, right? He wants to make sure if you're trying to get this W, you better earn that bad boy. Level 1, intact from Ryukichi, does have the installs ready, and also rather low. Interestingly enough, Dogura drive rush down into the cross up, but we do get the raw level 3 upon wake up from the side of Dogura.
Good drive cage, however, still a lot to go here for Ryukichi. Oh, that's not the firm you wanted. B, go towards the corner. wait for these jumps. We're going for the answer. I'm surprised, but you know what? I like that. Don't risk it too much. Just burn him out like this. We were looking for the objective achieved. Gets the counter with a back heavy kick up in the corner. Jail no bail. You're dead. Scratch wheel to finish things off. This is the Dogura I wanted to see. Kill the drive gauge. Take it away with resources, so we can't just drive rush up or OD fan. More for him to have to think about and harass from there. Dogura with the first game on his side, finally.
I love that win pose too for the lady. She's just so lovely. Anyway, Ryukichi now on the offensive yet again, harassing away with the fans. Dogura has not really found a, I guess, confident and consistent answer against the follow-up to the fans thus far. Damn! Repeated scratch wheels, huh? Trying to alleviate that itch. But I'll tell you what, man. Ryukichi still finding ways to break Dogura's defense. Having to hold that mix. Although Ryukichi's in burnout, any trade will do, and he does find it. Match point yet again for the side of Ryukichi.
Interruption, but wasn't able to find that 6th frame right after. Fan, and if he's under pressing right after the fans come through, Mini Mize will just drive rush up, dash up, whatever. And that's why Dogura's been catching so many people, not Ryukichi. He jumps looking for that overhead or extended button, yeah, heavy kick. The medium to hit or even apply any sort of plus range with the overhead drive rush, the low, not a throw. Scratch wheel. The gaps into the string.
The exposure down below. With the killer bee sting as well. Ryukichi trying to outspace Dogura yet again. Looking rather dry, by the way. Dogura could actually take this round back if he can find the right spots. Forcing the burnout now is Ryukichi against himself, but now Dogura bring him to the corner. The extension, hella damage incoming. I like that he goes for that round. Didn't even need to spend the bar, and he wasn't even done with the damage. Dogura still staying alive.
Minute for you. Now not going for any sort of scratch wheel or trade scenarios at all. Just blocking it out. That's fine. Almost caught the extended button right there with the neutral jump. Back throw. No fan this time. Now he's delaying the fan. It's not just an immediacy on wake up. Give him with the stand medium, caught him staying. That's why it was landing. Take him towards the corner, of course. What's after this? The throw. Trade conversion. OD fan. Caught the backdash. Good level 3 here. No, we saved the bar because we have Oki. We're good, we're good. That makes sense.
Oh! Target combo, you thought he could get the extension! He thought wrong, and he pays for it! Dogura with a critical error. He had the air-to-air against Ryukichi. And then he committed to the Rhino Horn. Oh, not like this. Not when it comes to playoff spot on the line. No shot. 30 points with the clutch from Ryukichi against Crazy Raccoon's 10. Oh my. Crazy Raccoon now at 190. Victrix Favu Gaming with 160. The curtain drawing closer for these two teams. The fight for third still continues on into week 10.
This might be the closest league we have seen in a long, long time. Like, even not even counting like the beginning, the middle of the league, like at the very end, we're still not able to figure out who's solidified these positions. Last time we were able to, it felt like some of these teams were already out by this point. Not this time. What a rebuttal from Ryukichi. The way that he played the Mai matchup, where Dogura's been so dominant. We've watched Dogura, not even in the Fujimura matchup, in multiple matchups, win against Mai so continuously. His ideation to chase down Dogura continuously, to keep the bar up. And that unfortunate drop at the very end led to Ryukichi and other teams to stay in the league. The Spirit Bomb worked out where they had their hands up. They was giving every bit of the energy, and it worked out. There were some good ideas here and there, but man, if that would have that follow-up, that would have been sick. Maybe Dogura would have been able to get that super scenario, get a second game, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. Ryukichi, Victrix Favu Gaming, to be honest, 30-10 over Crazy Raccoon, and also by Moki's admission as well, taking down Bonchan Takuma.
This is so pivotal too to maintain their lead. Crazy Raccoon, they can't let this position slip away from them, as we are so close. We only have one more week left of regulation season for Division S. And I gotta say, like, there is definitely a glimmer of hope for Victrix Travel Gaming now that we see these results. Ryukichi clutching it out. 3 games over Dogura's 1, I believe. That could have been another extension, but I still gotta test that target combo from mid-screen. I really don't know if the Rhino Horn can reach from it, genuinely.
I have to ask Mags on that one. I was saying, by the way, he did a nice little top spot over at TNS recently. So, again, once you play a character, people start learning the character is strong. And I like that people start to believe, yo, Elena's a problem. This guy's been in top spots. He's gotten second at a World Warrior that's super stacked. He's gotten 8th at EVO France at an offline tournament. We have to start worrying about Elena and Dogura. He understood the assignment, how to deal with Dogura, the way that he wants to play. When he wants to play first, he stops at with jabs. When he wants to play second, he'll drive rush jab and chase him down. And playing shorter butts instead of like maybe medium or bigger ones that kind of get other my players in trouble was super great. Also the fireball difference, charge up fireball, normal fireball, OD fireball, and not just drive rushing right after to get your impression on like most people would do so mindlessly, take the traits with the scratch wheels or get hit with them continuously, was enough to put Dogura on guard and like, man, I can't do anything. I can't play my game. Sako says in his winter interview, such a great game from everybody. I'd advise to do the normal jump from Ryukichi and start reading Dogura's tactics. So I'm assuming he's trying to read the overhead that we saw continuously get jumped in on, and maybe stay in medium punch as well, but probably mostly overhead.
Either way you spin it, man, Ryukichi having a different look in terms of like the pacing. Like we have so many different ways of viewing Mai for both divisions, and even from today, right? We've seen how it played off from the side of KB. We've seen a like much more calm approach from Ryukichi. Like I think KB is mad hyperactive. Like he's read based and he's also hyperactive with like the way he chooses to spend like his meter, his movement, even his mixes. I feel like it's much more of a different look and very offense oriented. Whereas Ryukichi kind of plays more so against the pacing of a person's playstyle more often than not. So. Very, very different flavors, and I've enjoyed that, honestly. And I think Ryukichi finding his balance with Mai thus far has been so beneficial for Victrix Travel Gaming up until this point.
Such a wild departure from when he was playing at EWC, and even before EWC with that mind, the way that it is now. He made that his own character. I remember going to stream after, and he was like, I don't know if I should play this character anymore. I feel like I'm not strong enough with her. He's really found his way and his pacing. As you mentioned, the way he breaks people down and understands their tendencies and works around that. We saw it with Ken, we see it with her, just without Jinrai, just with fans instead. Fujimura says, I lost, but others won, so it's all good. And we have a chance if we get 40 points next episode. And we need that 40 bomber. It'll be difficult. I do believe it's good 8 squad. Get the schedule right. It might be plug-in, which is a very difficult task. But if they're able to take it over Crazy Raccoon, anything is doable. Anything is possible out here in leagues. Nothing's off the table.
That's the craziest thing. Even with only 1 week remaining, nothing's off the table. The only exception, unfortunately, and I have to highlight it, it has to be said, Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto are the only ones I feel like that are kind of out of the race. A little bit. Like, I don't necessarily know if it's a guaranteed, because before we even started, it was like the stipulation was Seoul needed to get 20 points, and they got the tiebreaker game between like those 2 teams. So I'm not too sure how it's gonna play out. The stipulations were like good 8 squad, get 10 points to qualify, and they're still gonna be like, it's a whole different story between like them and Nagoya, right? The rest of them though is like Crazy Raccoon, they needed 40 points to qualify and then automatically disqualify the rest of the teams. That didn't happen. Victrix Travel Gaming, 30 to stay in the race, that's checked off. Seoul must get at least 20 points to stay in the race, that's checked off. CAG Osaka, they must get at least 10 points to stay in the race. Obviously, they got to 30. So there are some weird possibilities that could happen towards the end. I want to safely assume that Seoul's out of the running, but I'm not a math person, so I'll let everybody else kind of take care of that.
Yeah, I'll wait for Twitter to do the math on that. Back to the interviews though, Moke said, Aru, you said Sagat would come if I get around. You're telling me that Akuma was his best? Well, then that's why he lost. Bro, Moke, come on, man. You can't be... come on, man. Not against Bonchan, bro. You can't be like that. Ryukichi says, we were really nervous about the games, but I guess I was the most nervous. I couldn't keep my mouth shut during teammates' games and my games as well. Hey man, whatever you gotta do to get out the shakes and do what you were doing out there is fine. My man was yapping.
Very interesting to see that from the side of Ryukichi. Like every time I've seen him in Japan, he seems like a pretty reserved fella. So it's cool to see that side of him. Like, and also he's very emotional, right? Like I think a majority of the times we've seen him like cry on streams. We've seen like how emotional he gets during wins and losses in general. To like to a point where it's just been a pretty firm statement to say like he wears his heart on his sleeve. Like we've made that talk about them plenty of weeks over thus far. So it's kind of interesting to see like that he's also a yapper when he's nervous.
I will say on his streams though, he is definitely coming out to his own. I had him with the raid yesterday and he was very talkative when playing against the Terry players. So I'm glad that he's coming out of his shell and getting better with the Mai. Sako says, we still have a chance. 40 bomber is a difficult possibility, but we gotta catch that chance with our best shot. Well, everybody comes at the ready. Next time they meet Good 8 Squad, I do believe it's Good 8 Squad at least, they might be able to do it. I think it's a very doable thing. Bro, Good 8 Squad is insane right now. Anything can happen in the league. I can't call. It's even hard with the predictions. In fact, I think my predictions were mostly wrong today. Production might have beat me. I had, Crazy Raccoon. Well, no, I got Good 8 Squad. But I lost the Saishunkan, Kumamoto, and CAG Osaka. But once again, it's like throwing darts, as you've mentioned so many times. Who knows what's going to happen out here? And in what fashion in terms of points?
Honestly, I had all of the home team winning this week. I had CAG Osaka, I had Good 8 Squad. But Crazy Raccoon, man, sometimes they do be throwing. Like, what is going on, you guys? Like, Shuto started off with a bang. Bon-chan let it slip away, and then Dogra, that was kind of rough, man. To have it fall with that type of error with the air target combo, that does feel kind of bad. I wonder if there would have been a different world where Shuto was the anchor instead against Ryukichi's Mai, and Dogra stepped up to play against Fujimura's Viper, or if we saw Kazunoko step up against Fujimura's Viper. That would have been kind of sick to see, right?
We see what we see right now on our screen right now in terms of the points. 30-20 Seoul, CAG Osaka, Seoul. Good 8 Squad 40 bomber over NTPOJA, 30-10. Victrix Fabu game getting the revenge against Crazy Raccoon, against super harder call, and even in these results in general in terms of like the points, Good 8 Squad taking it 40 over the most dominant team coming in is crazy, no matter their pedigree at all. It doesn't even matter. The fact that they took it so dominantly is insane. But that again goes to show the practice, preparation, the preparedness these players are putting on to get their W's, to stay in, and to keep fighting no matter what, no matter how dark it gets outside, try to find the light. Very well done the teams that take the W's, and not too far for some of them that didn't. Like Seoul, maybe we don't know if they're out or not, but still trying to hang in there with that 20. And Victrix Fabu Gaming has to get that 40 bomb next time they meet. But here's the standings right now. Good 8 Squad, 260. Nagoya NTPOJA, 230. Crazy Raccoon, 190. Victrix Fabu Gaming, 170. CAG Osaka, 160. And Saishunkan Kumamoto, 150. Not too far behind in the lower area, but stay fine. It's going to take a lot of work and some 40 bombs and some miracles.
Yeah, I mean, like the most that Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto could score is a 40 bomber, and to take over against like Crazy Raccoon, that's kind of difficult, or even trying to leapfrog over the other teams, because like Crazy Raccoon has to face off against CAG Osaka, right? So if I'm doing the math correctly, like even if Crazy Raccoon gets shut out by CAG Osaka, CAG Osaka still has 200 points. It's going to be 10 over Saishunkan Seoul's max point. So I think it's safe to assume that Seoul is no longer in the running, just based off of the performance between CAG Osaka and Crazy Raccoon, no matter how you spin it, right? No matter what type of matrix you get in regards to the matchup spread or the point spread, Seoul is out of the running because their max potential points earned is 190.
That's so painful. They've been at so many playoffs. They've been so close to qualifying at one point. In multiple years, we've seen them be a very dominant team. At the very least, top 3 teams, you know, on the business to get the playoffs so continuously. So to see them fall so short shows how strong and how difficult League is right now. And their team was good. And also, it's not like they were getting shut out continuously or getting bodied continuously. They just weren't able to acquire the points. You can even see it on the screen right now in terms of like the graph. They weren't that far off. It was just a slow degradation after having a very high Section 2. And downward they go. And the other teams being able to survive and thrive a little bit longer and stay afloat a little bit longer. The differentials as well. So it's kind of unfortunate, but that goes to show how difficult it is to fight out the league and how these teams have been nothing short of impressive.
I feel like it's the opposite end for me. Like Seoul, they've been on like a downward trend since Section 2, and there's certain points where they would drop like 2 spaces over. So it's really unfortunate, but that's just how it crumbles, man. There's got to be a winner, there's got to be a loser. That's just how it plays out. But we're going to see next week coming into Division F next Tuesday, Hiroshima Team Ikuza versus Vero, Detonation Focus Me versus Reject, then Fukushima Ibushigen versus Zeta Division Geekly. That's going to be kind of wild considering how close-knit these teams are as well. I'm going to take a look at the points into it right now before we get into the next schedule. Yeah, Rejects at the top with 240, Ikuza at 220, Zeta at 180. Those are just the top 3. But Division S for the finale of regulation season. Ladies and gentlemen, we gave a little bit of a preview as we were calculating the math. It's going to be Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto versus Nagoya NTPOJA to start it off. Good 8 squad against Victrix Favu Gaming, and then Crazy Raccoon versus CAG OSAKA. The spot for number 3 is on the line for Crazy Raccoon, Victrix Favu Gaming, and CAG OSAKA. Those dreams of qualifying into the playoffs are still intact for those 3 teams. However, Nagoya NTPOJA, good 8 squad, they are way above the line to even think about 3rd place. It's just a matter of who gets the favorable seeding.
Still looking for that. Man, I can't believe we're at the end, or at least close to ending, on something where we can't call who's going to be in those final positions. So that final position in terms of like the playoffs will all be determined then. And again, this league has been so great in terms of like the uprising of some of these players, how the top dogs have been taken down every so often. They've bled quite a bit. But A Squad, Reject, all those cats of people coming in saying they're going to win so dominantly did not happen out here. There are times where they've lost or didn't walk away with as many points as we might have thought for certain teams. In the way, NTPOJA also being a shining star, one of the teams I did not expect to be so good, doing so great out here. Here's the schedule, people, for the remainder of Street Fighter League Japan regulation season. 18th, 21st, and 25th is how things are going to go down. And then, of course, we're going to have the World Warrior, the 4th one for Japan. Catch that and see who gets close to that regional finals qualification. There's still so much going on with the U.S. that will be happening again today. If you didn't watch the previous episode, go do that. And go give my man Jeremy some love. Because honestly, bro, my man, you are working so much overtime. You were a goat for this. Please go give him love in the chat for that. He's going to be working all week. Then after that, we have the playoffs in December. It's going to be happening. Those in days. Make sure you put those on your calendar.
I still got to clock into work after this, man. Oh boy, it's going to be sick. It's going to be great, guys.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm gonna get at least 2 hours of sleep. But honestly, like I'll be very transparent with you guys, chat. Like we're front-facing individuals. Like I don't give a damn if I lose sleep over this stuff. This is the kind of stuff I asked for, and this is the kind of stuff I look forward to. Same exact thing going into the playoffs, right? We have Street Fighter League Japan playoffs coming up real soon in December. I cannot wait to spend my weekend with you guys to hang out and also to see who makes it into the grand finals in January, dude. So much in the works for Street Fighter, so many developments in terms of the meta and the players. The storylines continue to be just as thrilling as it was in previous iterations. You guys do not want to miss the conclusion coming up real soon. And when one door closes, another one opens. We got Street Fighter League US coming up real soon. In fact, it is alive. Every single version, every single region of Street Fighter League is absolutely live, and round 1 is currently going on right now in just a few hours. You guys can scan the QR code if you guys are in Southern California. There is a live studio presence that does happen. You had seen it from the streams a little bit earlier ago. A couple of people had wandered in, and they were like, you know what? We get to see grand finals potential in each and every one of these matchups. Bet, I'm down. Be sure to scan it. Tickets, not even that expensive. Just get there, pull up a chair, hang out with the boys. It's going to be a great time. Again, Street Fighter League US. Our debut happened not too long ago, and we're continuing on with day number 2. These guys are insane, by the way. Dude, every single game had me wanting to pull my hair out majority of the time. So I am so glad to lose sleep over this. You heard me, Senko.
Definitely well worth watching. People tune in. As you said, it is a live, so you're seeing the meta, everything occur. If you want to be live there, get the QR code as he mentioned to actually catch the action and all the pop-offs and all the tiers of defeat, because just like Japan, it's getting to a point where it's kind of hard to call who's going to take the W. Some of the dominant teams I thought were going to smoke other people, did not do so. So catch this, and get to see some of these players out here do some great tech, like Blas wearing that Sagat, changing the meta on its forehead. Always fantastic. In terms of other things that are coming up too as well, EU will be coming through after US, so catch that. I don't know if we're going to have a slide for that, but I do want to mention that EU will also be live as well. They're going to have some really fun teams, really dominant teams, new faces that maybe you've seen in like the Salt Mines, the World Warriors, people that have been at Capcom Cup, proving themselves out at League once again, and Raccoonies, new faces, things like that. You definitely want to catch all the League action, because that team-based battle has a different sort of weight behind it. It's a lot more of like, I have to show up for everybody, not just myself. Kevin has mentioned that just recently after having some heartbreaking moments. You definitely see the stress on the players and how much it impacts them. You do not want to miss any of this action.
Dude, I still can't believe we saw the rookies 2-game coming in with a big W against Kumamoto Gaming. The team of the My Army getting shut down. Blas with a big pick against Shanghai with the Sagat. I'm telling you, man, that's only the tip of the iceberg, yo. We started off with FlyQuest versus Bandits at the very beginning. Yo, you cannot afford to miss any episode of Street Fighter League US because of how crazy it would get the rest of the days through. Day 1 was a banger, and it's so hard to even imagine how it'll top in the next couple of days. I'm so excited.
So all that great action is going to be happening throughout the entire weekend and even further on. And then EU and then return to US. So catch every bit of Street Fighter League action as we lead up towards Capcom Cup. Another lead up towards Capcom Cup is the World Warrior Japan. The 4th one is coming through at the very end of this month. I think the 30th, I do believe. Yes. 24th. It's the 24th. So catch that action when it happens. As there are so many points of contention, I don't even know who's going to make it into the top spot in regional finals. There's so many different faces that show up, new players, old players. The points are everywhere. But I think this sport was going to really help determine some people establish themselves closer towards that regional finals, and maybe some people outside of that mark. We'll just have to see. But it has given some of the best action. We've seen a lot of developments in terms of Japan's player base, in terms of like new players, in terms of meta and characters. Now people are operating around some of the more devious characters. So catch that coming up real soon, along with the league action that you should be witnessing.
Fully packed lineup for so many different avenues of gaming too, like Street Fighter League EU, brother, that's going to be happening the following week after Street Fighter League US. Like, I am definitely going to be losing sleep, even more so, because that time change is brutal. So I'm looking forward to it, man. And then it leads up into World Warrior, and then some of the regional finals are rounding up. We still got to go to the studio on Sundays. Like, dude, there's so much work to be done, and I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. Same with Japan, right? They got their public viewing. They got Aru, Hameko, and Yaz leading the pack, making sure that everybody's fully entertained. And those houses do get packed, by the way, in terms of the public viewing. If you guys ever want to check it out, you're within the realm of Japan, or like Tokyo specifically, be sure to check it out. It's going to be at Esports Style Ueno. It's well within Tokyo, by the way, so be sure to check it out. QR code available in case you are in Japan. I personally would love to be there.
Being able to enjoy that action with people that want to watch the World Warrior together, that's sort of amazing. World Warriors, as you mentioned, there's a lot coming up. East Coast is going to be finishing their stuff off, I think, next weekend. Same with West Coast, I do believe. So there's a lot in terms of people qualifying for Capcom Cup. Some have already done so. Big Bird just recently, and I know many more boys are on the way, as well as, excuse me, the Street Fighter League people, the ones that qualify through their leagues, will be making it towards the cup to fight in the league finals on Sunday. There's so much going on, even outside of all of the CPT stuff, many more mini tournaments and regionals and stuff like that. Like Mix Fest is coming up this week. You do not want to miss anything related to Street Fighter. Keep your eyes locked and loaded on everything in the streets, because this has been a really fun time watching this game develop. The players pick new characters and things like that. As we get closer to Alex's release, who else is going to pick that character up or when he drops it? Because honestly, I might have to pick him up. If Problem does it, I might have to do it too. It's how our bison brains have to operate. But I'm excited for the future of Street Fighter. Now it's going to be developed. We get a patch, who knows? We get more stuff ever Capcom Cup, who knows? But I do know that we are well fed out here.
Right, dude, and we've got so much left in the tank in regards to this season, right? We have 2 whole characters to reveal. We don't even have like any of the gameplay footage yet from Alex, if I'm not mistaken, like outside of that trailer that they released, even from like way back when in like June or whatever, when they showed off the whole thing with Kenny Omega. Pretty sick, right? So a lot in store in the future of Street Fighter. Fact of the matter is, we've enjoyed your time. Hope to see you guys on the other side of the streets. Until then, we'll see you at Street Fighter League US, and then again for next week's Street Fighter League Japan. Take it easy, y'all. See you soon.
それではディビジョン F 第9節でお会いいたしましょう。さよなら。
さよなら。
この重要な先鋒戦、両チームの面はこの2人がまずは握っているか。マチャボ龍。
うわー、バウンド歩き投げ。
しかも後ろだ。じゃあ、
おおマジ？おお。しい。ラッキーも竜巻やった負けてた。竜巻やった負けてた。
で攻めて、これにゲージ溜まったんで相当やばい。
リッチペースどうするでもあまりに苦しい。バックスプローリングからゲージも十分。
これおったバックス
プローリングから
野毛し。はい。よかった。セーフかな。ようやったわ。ありがとうございます。よかった。よし。攻め勝った。
チャンスはあるぞ。高木うまく崩した。ここからもうワンタッチでゲージもたまりそう。集団うわーバレている。ワンタッチでゲージもたまりそう。
オッケー、ありがとう。ナイス。
ありがとう。いや、ありがとう。ったら CA になるか。微妙な体力、ああいうチームから暴れている。サンダーからの SS3 不良がやはりになるか。微妙な体力、ああいうチーム。よっしゃー。よっしゃー。
素晴らしい。高木君大丈夫やからな。大丈夫やから。いや、まだ大丈夫ですよ。大阪とね。いや、ごめんなさい。いや、
話だな。気になった。踏み込む、サラが硬い。打撃は完全。
ナイス。だいぶ回復したい。
さあ、プゲラも焦らずじっくりと。
ドライブゲージね。ゲージ稼ぎたい。SL ゲージ稼ぎたい。ああ。ナイス。ナイスね。
ゲージがもう2ゲージマジか。大パー乗っている。スーパーらしいのキック。
ナイス。ようやった。40ですか。
うわ
ーしょうがない。
大パンか。
しょうがない。
長すぎる。いや、しょうがないっす。
何？
カウンター
タッチ。まだ足りないが。
波動。オッケー。ナイス。
完璧。
動き
完璧。
ナイス。
あ、もう10点取ったからもうだいぶだよ。
勝負。どうする？打ってきた。そこからワンタッチできるか？
できるかい。
体育。しっかり体育。
ナイス。いい判断。
ナイス。
いやー美味しかった。
めちゃくちゃ美味しかった。
すごい、めっちゃいい展開だった。
うん。
どうなる？スクライク！ここで対応してきた！うわー！ユキシには！あまりにも予想外の決着！
いや、ごめん。
いやー、どんまい。意識高かったね。
あ、マジごめん。もうやっぱ。
いやー、どんまい。
おいしい。おいしい。マジか今の。そんなことあんの？
エレナ使いからわかんないなあれ。
怖かったね。
今のはずですあれ。